That's not how it goes at all. Hi everyone, welcome to Remembering Summer, and not just the direwolf. You know, everything in Game of Thrones up until the point where the White Raven has flown to Old Town. And if you don't know what we're talking about, this might not be the episode for you, but I encourage you to watch and learn something. This is Game of Thrones themed, whole episode. We're kind of doing a Game of Thrones month on the channel for July. It's a big deal for us. We're trying to do a Let's Play of the Telltale Games Game of Thrones. For some reason, does not want to cooperate with us. And we're also doing all this for a tie-in for Night's Watch, coming to Odd Shape channel. It's the second season. First season was on Blab, but that's gone. But that's hosted by your buddy Kal the Kingslayer, and we are co-hosts on that show. But enough of the plugs. Let's get to the thick of it. Real quick, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. I saw Eric, Ashley, Billy, Raul, Cal, Joe, Morgan, Matt, Corey, Delisha. I think I said Raul, but I'll say it again.
Yeah, I saw Raul say he liked my shirt. It is actually a dress. Still saying rest in peace, Blab.
And check out this sweet shirt from our
too.
BFFs. Told you I was cosplaying as Joe. I wasn't lying. Nolan is not here. We should wait. Everybody, we're going to wait for Nolan. No? Maybe we should have somebody call in.
Thank you, guys. It's Game of Thrones, so I had to bring the boobs, is what I told Tom before the episode.
It's true. And we have dragons. So, boobs and dragons. That's the show. Yeah, I was going to wear my glasses, Raul, but they're like Buddy Holly glasses, and that's not the kind that Joe has. So, I thought that would be more distracting. Plus, it plays with the light, and I look like Elijah Wood from Sin City, and I don't like that look. But I'm going to go ahead and call Morgan.
Sure, yeah.
The King of the North himself. So we're going to be doing this new thing. We have the 4 base questions. All of them are in the description in the chat if you haven't seen them yet. And then we're also going to be asking some surprise,
some of the questions that you guys sent in, that you tweeted to me, which if you want to send more questions, please feel free to tweet them to me. Just tag me and I'll see it. But I had a couple questions, so I was going to ask those too.
Hi, Mac. Billy asks, #bring the boobs, ?
Gotta bring the boobs, you guys. It's Game of Thrones. And let me know when people come in. You said Mac, right?
Yep, Mac came in. And I think I just sent Morgan an invite. If he doesn't get it, I can always send another one. You're going to hear a lot about different plugs from a lot of different content creators that we happen to have as guests on the show. There's a link down to our guest creators page on our website, and that has all of the updated videos as of today from all of our content creators, as well as links to some blogs, such as I just figured out Jonathan Youngblood is like editing a blog, so I had to throw that up because Jonathan came on for a few episodes. And then what else did I add? Oh, and other blogs you check out, X-Men the Animated Series, one of our favorite episodes that we've done. They do a very active blog.
We'll probably put a plug for the guys that I just filmed with this weekend.
Yeah,
they were really cool.
Once things come out.
I don't remember what their channel is called, but the show I did was called TV 3-Way, and it was with Matthew Whitaker and another guy at Attack on Movies _. So they were really fun, and that was a cool show. So I'll obviously be putting that on blast on Twitter when it comes out.
All right, I'm going to send Morgan another invite. Also, I know your tech podcast is somewhere in the works, in the pipeline, as Corey put it at one point. And I know I'm going to be recording with them Friday.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I have no idea what they're talking about, but I will still.
Neither did I, but
I'll
it was
still
still
make
a good
decisions, basing it all on creativity. Go nuts.
Oh, Nolan's here.
Nolan. Hey, ba. It's Nolan. Next Saturday? So the 8th? It swears on Spider-Man Day. Why is nothing happening? I don't know. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get Kal in here while we try to figure out what's going on with Morgan.
We maybe should do Nolan first.
Oh, Nolan.
Time zones.
Yeah. Sorry. It is now Nolan. Well, no, Nolan. You actually know that's not your theme song. I actually have to record your theme song, one of these days.
I'm so used to Tom singing that I don't even notice that he's doing it until you guys pointed out in the chat, which is pretty funny. It's the second time.
Nolan. Hey, TJ. What should you get for a snack? I don't know, man. Those cheese fries that you had posted yesterday looked awesome. I was at work going, I want them. Man, all the Toms are coming through. All right, so it's Morgan's problem, not ours, that he can't get in. Sorry, buddy.
We'll
keep trying. How's it going? Why is it so dark? Is it, you know that your room is full of terrors right now, right?
Yeah, it's dark because having the light on makes my room hotter, and Cyprus is in its summer season, and the last thing I need is for my house to be any more warm than it is.
All right. You want to just get this started?
Yeah.
So, all the questions came to us from Kal today, who is going to be obviously he's the co-host of.
He is the main host. We're
Night's
the
Watch. And he sent us the first one, and it says, "What house do you think you would belong in Game of Thrones?"
Me and Morgan were talking about this before the show started. Like, we're thinking like the big houses like Stark and that, but I don't know why he chose this for me, but he thinks I would be a wildling. I'm not as familiar with the lore as some of you guys, so maybe you can fill me in on why that is.
There's specific tribes of wildling. I think you would have to. There's the Thens, who are cannibals and nobody likes. There's the horn hoofs. Oh no, the claw. I'm trying to remember all of them.
Yeah,
the Thens are the easiest to remember because everyone's like fucking Thens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's different tribes, and I mean, some of them live like side by side with giants. So, I mean, all in all, you're attacking the wall, and that's no good.
I saw him saying that tech podcast that I did is already up. You guys should send me the link so that I can share that around.
And I'll put that on the website.
Yeah. Which house would you go into?
All right, well, which one do I belong in, or which one do I want to go into?
It said which one would you belong in.
I think I would be a Stark, only because I kind of like the moral compass that the Starks have.
That's good.
As opposed to other houses. But I would want to be a Reed because I just want to see the marshlands and the swamp dragons, like, which is what they call like crocodiles. Like, it just sounds so cool. Like, there's these like little frog dudes. They're not really frog people, but
just sounds like Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little bit more mysterious than Florida.
Florida's pretty mysterious.
No, there's a news article about Florida every 5 seconds.
It's not the real Florida. So you're going with the...
I'm going to go Stark because that's what house I feel like I belong in, but I know your answer.
Yeah, I am going House Martell. And particularly House Martell from the books, because they were kind of butchered in the show, with the exception of Oberyn, who is awesome and I love. But the Martells and Dorne is like the place I would want to be and think I would fit in the best, because one, like, they don't bat an eye at like people's fluid sexuality. They don't have any problem with women coming into power. They're pretty much the only region that like women can lead, so that's a huge bonus to me. It's hot. That's definitely what I'm used to, is the weather in Dorne.
The horses.
I love horses. That's a huge, like, Dornish stallions are a big thing. And Dorne is beautiful and filled with passionate, interesting people. So I would want to be in the Martell family.
Yeah, I heard much better in the books.
Yeah, so much better. It's Ariane. I wish she was there. She's not on the show.
All right, question 2.
Whose death affected you the most?
Okay, well, obviously the biggest death scene that affected everyone the most and what got me to watch the show was the Red Wedding. And it's not so much that it affected me because of the death, but it was because of the effect it almost had on one character, and that's pretty much anybody who died during the Red Wedding. And it's because Arya's right outside of it, and we don't see her reaction or anything, but she was just like so close to death, and that kind of had a bigger effect on me than actually seeing somebody die, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the payoff for that scene actually happened when she shows up at Hightower, where she just leaves the Red Wedding, shows up to Hightower, and they're like, "Oh, your Aunt Liza's dead," and she just starts laughing because at that point she's like,
It's not Hightower.
Or not Hightower.
It's the Eyrie.
The Eyrie?
Yeah.
I always get the castles mixed up. So the Eyrie, and she shows up, and she just like breaks for a quick second because like she's doing all this work and everyone around her is dying, which people will continue to die around her.
It's like the death of her innocence is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that almost happened with the swing of the sword when Ned got killed, you know what I mean? And she watched it. But it was definitely the start of a long road. Hi, Janine.
Hey, Janine.
What about you?
Death affected me the most. Hodor.
Yeah, oh my god.
That broke me personally. Like, I was a mess. Like, I was bawling in tears. That was an awesome way for them to explain, like, why he just says Hodor and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it coming. And it was just really effective and sad. And that's my choice. Hodor, all the way.
Yeah, I mean, Hodor is definitely it's a little too real for me.
Yeah.
Because I work in developmental disability field, and so to see kind of Hodor go through a seizure and not be able to do it, like, that was hard. So it definitely affected me. But the one that, like, as far as like how it changed the scope of the show and how I felt about different characters, sorry, Eric, Shireen dying like just made me like I didn't like Stannis before, but there's a lot of characters I don't like in Game of Thrones, but I still, you know, enjoy the performance and how they play with other characters. After Shireen, I was just like, you are just like a waste of a dude. So that's my answer.
You're a
Shireen.
waste of a dude. I see TJ in the chat there asking if we think we'll see a White Walker Hodor, and I think that's a fair possibility.
If the Night's King can actually, because we haven't heard them speak or whatever, you know what I mean, like no sense of real personality.
Yeah.
But if he's capable of messing with people and he's inside a Brand's head, I would send Hodor just to be like, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Because you already failed. Like.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with what Corey says here, is that he never really expected to see an answer as to like why Hodor just says Hodor. And I didn't either. I think he like really got one past us, because I don't think anyone was thinking about it that hard. They were just like, oh, he just says Hodor, you know? And yeah, that shit was heart-wrenching. For sure.
Yeah.
So question 3 is, who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
I had to think hard about this too, and I had so many different answers for different reasons, but I'm going to say Daenerys for a couple of different reasons. One, I think she'd be a totally awesome queen, and two, I've kind of noticed that the show now, I would not be surprised if she ended up as an antagonist by the end. And
that's been my thing for seasons now. I've been on that. I think she's the bad guy of the whole show.
Yeah, I've been thinking that pretty much since like season 4, but because she's doing those things, she would do anything to get the throne. And if I want someone to be on the throne with me, I want someone who's going to do something no matter what and make sure we stay there.
For sure. I don't think that anyone is going to get the Iron Throne. I think everything's going to burn down and everyone's going to die. I've always had like a very grim view on what I think the ending of Game of Thrones should be like. But I mean, particularly with her foreshadowing in the House of Undying and stuff.
And Ramsay.
Yeah. But she's also who I would like to align myself with, and it mostly has to do with that she has an excellent team around her at this point in the show. Like I love Tyrion and Varys and Olenna Tyrell and Yara and stuff. So mostly I would just like to be on the team with all the people that I really like. Like honestly, if Davos and Brienne were there, that would be like all my favorite characters that are left. So I'd have to pick her team just because I would love to be surrounded by those people and work on a team with them.
That would be dope.
Real quick, I just want to say hello to Delicia's supervisor who's watching this while she closes her drawer. Hi, welcome. My pick for this. Here's the thing. I took this question as me physically sitting on the Iron Throne. So, like, I assume I would have some claim already to make me eligible, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. Maybe I'm a secret Targaryen. You know what I mean? Those always show up. And I think I would team up with the Maesters from Old Town because there's a whole conspiracy that they're controlling everything, and I think if I had them backing me, I could actually get onto the throne. I don't think teaming up with anyone who already has eyes on the throne is a good idea. Like I would try to team up with like maybe like the Iron Bank or something like that, like some kind of outside force that could help me get in.
Like not necessarily like a person, more like
yeah. I mean, if also Qyburn's a good pick because Qyburn's just a badass, but that's it.
sure.
Qyburn is a badass. How many other people raising people from the dead without being a White Walker or a Red Priest? He's not using magic; he's using science, which I guess could be the same thing.
Well, this is a perfect segue because the last question that we have for you today is: which deceased character would you bring back to life in the story?
Okay, before I answer this, I'm just going to warn the chat. Please do not send me angry tweets after this. Back Joffrey, because I thought he brought such an interesting element to the show from the way his character is, and you brought the death that affected you. His death kind of affected me in a way where it's like I saw the true nature behind his character, that he was just kind of like a scared little kid. And I want to see him like grow as a person and become more evil, because Ramsay Bolton to me is like, he's kind of like all the evil of Joffrey, but he knows that he's evil, and Joffrey's just kind of acting out so he could grow more as a character.
Yeah, when it comes to villains, I would definitely rather have Ramsay back. I feel like Ramsay was just like coming into his own as a villain, and they took him away from us.
Imagine if he comes back and his face
awesome.
is just torn off. Because when I think about, I'm thinking about and sorry, spoiler alert, for people who don't read the books, Stoneheart kind of like vibe. So
no,
like,
I don't think
what they would just
means...
be back.
Yeah, I mean, like they're just
That's
saying
weak.
like, because I'm gonna pick Oberyn Martell, and there's no way you're fixing that dude's face. He is just, his head is exploded.
Yeah.
So we're gonna magically bring Oberyn Martell back before his head got smashed in my story. Oberyn was awesome. It is a goddamn travesty that we only got one season of him because he was magnetic and my favorite character to watch on television ever. And Pedro Pascal was so excellent as Oberyn, and he's my choice because like he was just awesome, and I feel like we didn't get enough of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my pick. And I almost have two answers. So I don't know if I want to go with both. All right, so here's the thing. Like 2 years ago, there's a pen and paper RPG version of Game of Thrones called A Song of Ice and Fire, based on the first book. And you can make your own house. You can figure out how that house is set up. Do you have a lot of cavalry? Are you in a really fortified castle? Your location, who your allies are. You affect the game, and like our party, Kimber was there. Our party wanted to save Renly, and so
Eric is not gonna like this one.
So we did, and it just changed the scope because then I had to be like, okay, well then let's assume he won this battle if he has allies here, if the players are playing with him, you know what I mean? And the way it changed the scope of the game was so interesting. And I was like, oh, that would be interesting if Renly just popped up and he actually has more claim, like to clash with Daenerys, kind of, you know what I mean? Because they both have, depending on who you talk to, a rightful claim to the throne.
Yeah. I did the opposite in that game, and I killed Littlefinger extremely early
quickly.
And that changes like lots and lots of things. And I also took over his whorehouses. It was awesome.
You had sparrows too?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a cool game. I would love to play another version of that.
We should.
But I would also love, and I mean, his body's burned, so it's not going to happen. But if we're just magically bringing back people, Khal Drogo would be really interesting for him to show up and see what Daenerys has become. I don't think he would be mad at all about her killing the other calls and stuff. I think he would be like, yeah, queen. Like, I think it would be really interesting just to, like, it wouldn't even be, I don't even need him to, like, interject himself back into the story. It could be just like a Luke Skywalker in the shadows, kind of like, all right, she's going to be okay. And then Force Ghosts away.
Well, that is all the questions. I did see Morgan in the chat saying that it should work now, so hopefully that'll work out for us, and then we will have Kal following Morgan. But did you have... I know you just did a
really
show
good.
because we just checked it out. You want to go ahead and plug that?
Well, yeah. Well, because Spider-Man Homecoming's coming out this week, Coy Jandro came on Movies and Me to talk everything Spider-Man, and now I think I'm going to do more of it. I just started doing video essays in the style of like Every Frame a Painting and The Nerd Writer and that. And I just did one on Doc Ock and Spider-Man 2, which you guys liked. It's kind of an achievement that I managed to blow Tom's mind with the tentacle things there. So go check that out. It's on my Twitter, and I'm probably going to be doing more of those in the future.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like I said, if you go to that link in a Descript, it brings you to all of our guest content creators, and that Spider-Man video is right there waiting for you to click on. So thank you so much, Nolan. Always a pleasure.
You guys too. Thanks for having me on.
Always.
Of course. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
So while we get Morgan's call going, why not read one of these questions that we got from Twitter? So Dirk Monroe at Nkok 200 asked us, what was the best battle in Game of Thrones so far? So send me your answers, and I will read your responses in the chat.
What's the question? I missed that.
Best battle.
Oh, okay.
Battle of the Bastards is my
that's
answer for sure. But I'd love to see what you guys think.
Blackwater was good too visually, and it was cool to see like a naval thing. But even Battle of the Bastards coincided with them trying to attack Daenerys using naval ships. So we kind of got that in Battle of the Bastards also, the episode. Yeah, we see Matt saying Blackwater, TJ
Corey,
saying
Blackwater,
Bastards.
Battle of the Bastards for Eric, but also Blackwater. Corey says Hard Home.
Nice. Red.
Mavis wants to fight a dragon.
You want to fight a dragon? Hi.
Hey Morgan, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Mavis showed up just to say hi to you.
Before we get into anything, what's all this about you killing Littlefinger?
When we played this game, I killed Littlefinger.
No, we don't kill Littlefinger.
He did something.
I just wanted to see what would happen. Chaos. That's Littlefinger's jam.
Chaos.
You would understand.
Exactly. Chaos would happen. And by the way, Hard Home, best battle.
Nice.
I like Hard Home.
All right, Morgan. What house would you belong in?
It's pretty, standard. Everyone knows what I'm going to say. I'm the only Northern English person here. I'm a Stark.
Yeah,
or at least, it just always works. I sound like Stark people.
Yeah.
I believe in what the Starks believe in. I'm a loyal guy to my own family. I am and I like the cold,
Yeah, there you go.
and I
Is
don't
that
like it being too
your
hot.
family house isn't House Pilkington?
Well, it could be.
What would be the sigil for that? Just the top of a dome?
It just says bullshit.
Yeah.
Just says bullshit.
Yes. Perfect.
So Cal had another interesting answer to the battle thing. He chose Ned versus Sir Arthur Dane.
In the Kingsguard.
Yeah, that's a good
Interesting.
one. And they're King of the Northing you in the chat, Morgan.
Thank you, subjects.
So which death, I know you just recently watched the show, which death affected you the most?
Well, it's already been brought up, and I didn't think it'd already be brought up, but Tom brought it up, Shireen. Because I remember watching that episode with you two.
Yeah.
Like most other deaths, it's like it's at least some of the the bigger ones. They tend to be like, okay, that happened, but Shireen, it was dragged out, and I was just sat there just going, oh god, oh no, oh this is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, Stannis, you horrible, horrible, despicable individual. Sorry, Eric, love you. But yeah, it just really made me take a whole different approach to the character of Stannis himself.
I think Davos's reaction, like when he has that scene with Melisandre, just like for one, it opens up the wound again, and salts it, and two,
Born from salt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
But I think it just like shows you the horror of it, and like you experience it again, but through Davos's eyes, and it's so much like harder to even like watch Davos talking about how it affected him than seeing the scene itself. Like I think everyone when they watched Shireen burn was like, oh no, Davos is going to be ruined. Like this is going to kill Davos, you know?
And I mean, to be fair to both Eric and Stannis, Melisandre is equally to blame, but Stannis giving the okay for his only child, who we know the history of like they're like, oh, get another heir. Yeah, your two kids that happened are Shireen and a shadow baby that lasted like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
you're not going to have kids at this point. You've failed so many times beforehand, like to the point where they're like kept in glass bottles.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole family's weird, but
like
sure, I had hope for Shireen. You know what I mean? I thought she like. Could you imagine if Shireen met Liliana
Lyanna Mormont? Yes,
Lyanna Mormont. Sorry.
Wonderful. Battle of the cool
Like,
10-year-olds.
Says.
An heir is fair. That's fine.
You like bring up the whole sort of Davos reaction to, and that's like a season after. That's like a full season later that Davos actually finds out, and he brings that little, what is it? That little like doll thing.
It's a stag.
It's a
stag that he carved
he
for
like
her.
whittled it, yeah.
And he brings that and he throws that, in front of Melisandre, and he's like, "Tell him whose this was, and what you did to her." And so yeah, you sort of get a double punch with Shireen's death, the actual death, and then that recall back to the death a full season after, with Davos just being as passionate as we've ever seen Davos.
Oh yeah.
Again, yeah, and I mean at this point too, Davos has lost all of his sons in the show.
I'm not terribly sure because they really only talk about Mathos.
But I think it's assumed the other ones died in the Blackwater. Let me know if I'm wrong in the chat. But I think the parallels between oh wait, I'm sorry. But I feel like he felt like Shireen was his daughter. Like he cared for her more, it would seem, than Stannis did. Like he was kind to her. He like took interest in what she was doing. And so for another child to be like ripped out of his arms, I think is very just tragic.
She taught him how to read.
Again, too, like while I was just kind of defending Stannis, I think Melisandre, like she may be the red bitch, but I think she's like a test. You know what I mean? Like she can either tempt you with her wiles and her I don't know. I think that a lot of religion is like this, but it's a lot of false promises. But meanwhile, so that all goes down. She convinces Stannis to burn his child. Nothing works. He still loses the war. All of his men run away. Then you have Jon Snow, who the Red Priest had done him right by him. He is back alive. He kind of owes her, even though he didn't want to be back. But when he's presented with this information, he's not tempted with keeping her around. He's like, no, get out. And I think that says, I think Melisandre's a great foil, and that's what she's meant to be. But I think the actress who plays her does a great job. Just her character is unlikable, but she's supposed to be. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Morgan, serious question. Who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
Well,
Don't freaking say Littlefinger.
no, because he wants the throne. He's not going to share it.
yes. I don't want to share it. I don't want any power. I just want to be next to the guy with power. I'm perfectly.
You wanna
Who wants to be the new Littlefinger?
I'm perfectly happy siding with Littlefinger.
Tiny
Perfectly happy.
finger.
He won't betray me like he does
We'll just call
everyone
him
else. He might kill
Terrible.
everyone else that stands in his way, but not me, because I'll just say, no, Peter, I don't want to stand in your way. I just want to be beside you in your quest for power.
Watch out, he likes redheads.
I have a picture of you and me in the Iron Throne.
All right. We got one more question for you tonight, buddy. Which dead character on the show would you like to bring back to life?
So this is a more difficult one for me, because I usually feel like, again, with most sort of big Game of Thrones deaths, it tends to feel like the characters have had a completed arc and everything sort of come together, like a Joffrey death or a Ramsay death or even a Tywin. They've all sort of come together, and it's just like, it might be shocking, like I said at the time, but it feels like if they'd have gone on for longer, it'd just been more of the same thing from them. So I'm going to like people that I don't think we saw enough of, and you've already brought up the guy, your favorite character, Oberyn. We didn't, one season. We could have had so much more from Oberyn Martell.
Yes.
I don't feel like he had any sort of completed arc, which in a sense makes his death that more shocking. But I would have really, really liked to see more coolness from Oberyn, because he was just wonderful, really.
For sure. I fully agree, and I also think that Dorne could have been better and more interesting on the show had we had more time with Oberyn. Because it sucks they ruined Dorne. I feel like universally Oberyn is well liked, and everyone hates Dorne, so it's such a shame for them to kill their one great character from this entire massive area on the map,
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got to Dawn in the books yet.
You'll like it. It's great.
There's an idea for a spin-off show. Bring back Oberyn Martell, because his backstory, he traveled the world. He went to Essos. Follow him around. Let's just see some.
I'd like that. I'd like that. They're supposed to be making 48 different spin-offs of it, aren't they? So why not have Oberyn's travel blog, one of them?
I mean, I'd watch. It would be like
an Oberyn abroad.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing.
Oberyn abroad.
I'm gonna make that a meme afterwards.
Nice.
We need more memes for this show.
That's very a meme.
Cool. That's all the questions tonight.
I know your latest thing was on. Oh, don't tell me, the Conjuring franchise.
Yes, a shorter, rambly episode of Horror House went up today. So go and check that out when all this is finished, if you want. You don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody to go and do. But if everyone's feeling nice and generous.
Stop acting coy. They're gonna check it. Again, links to everybody down below. You can just follow that one, and we'll bring it to all of them.
I also should mention the top 5 Game of Thrones characters episode of the Enlightenment Hour that me and Kimber did last week, which was a lot of fun. You can find that on the YouTube channel and on iTunes as well, of course.
Awesome.
Yep. And if that's something you want to check out right after this, before the Conjuring franchise, a quick way to get to Morgan's channel is there's a playlist, Game of Thrones playlist on our page. That podcast is on it that you're talking about, and I'll bring you right to Morgan's page. Or you can just look for the Purple Dawn. It's up to you. Really.
Either way works, really, doesn't it?
I mean, I'm just trying to segue things in every kind of matter.
Segue.
Visually, spiritually.
I'm garbage at segueing, so don't ask me.
We'll work
Tom
on
was
that.
like the Segway master last time. I don't know if you guys remember, but he was really on last time with the.
That's all I do. I need a segue so I can do better segues. But we'll do some segue montages when you're in town, Morgan. We'll do a training video.
Yes.
And a
Behind
backpack
the scenes video.
That'd be really funny to do a segue like training video with Morgan.
I'm
We do
sure.
it.
Let us know if that's something you want. We'll charge $5 a pop.
Charge as much as you want.
Anyway, thank you
Alright,
so much for
Morgan.
joining us, Morgan. Always a pleasure.
It
We'll talk to
certainly
you soon.
is. You're very welcome. I look forward to the Night's Watch. I'll be there.
Yes.
Yes, starting next Tuesday. I'm segueing too quickly. We're gonna have Cal in right after you, and we'll let him talk about it.
Yeah, I was helping with the segue there, but it's
You
fine.
set us up too early, but Cal is the host of that, so you were in the right track.
You guys are segueing right now.
Oh, shit.
Segue. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Hashtag deep.
Hi, Randall.
Oh, hey, buddy. It's our friend Randall. Man, no one lets me eject them
I
anymore.
can't handle the Randall,
Can't handle the Randall.
but everyone could because Randall's the nicest.
Manhandle the Randall.
Randall is the chillest dude. Like, it's just so easy to hang out with that guy.
You know who's also chill to hang out with? Matt, because half the time he's not there.
He's like a magician. He just pops up.
Not Bear Mongolia Matt. Matt from DVD Bunker.
Drunksman.
I am asking Cal to come join us. That took me a second to remember what I was doing.
Cal him, maybe?
I'm gonna Cal him. Randall says, Kimber, you look great tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
And Tom, the beard is coming in quite nicely. Thank you. I don't know how much longer it's gonna go.
Hello?
It's itchy. Hey Cal, I can hear you. I cannot see you. There
Can you
you
see me
are.
now?
Yes.
Hello.
Check out that shirt.
Yes. Look who I got.
Oh, it's Ghost. Ghost is here.
Look over here.
Come and see.
Nope,
Hold on,
here
let me-
comes
let me
Darwin
freeze.
too.
Oh, how many dogs you got there?
Game of
I'm at
Pups.
my cousin's house, so
Oh, you brought Darwin with you? That's cute.
yeah.
Ghost, you're just gonna sleep on the job over there?
Look over here. Good boy.
Who's your dog? Who's your dog? You can't hear me, right? Because you have headphones. So.
No. Yeah.
Well, he has, peak hearing, so it should be fine. Anyway, thanks for submitting all these questions, Cal.
Oh yes, thank you for having this episode. I'm excited to promote the Night's Watch coming up.
Woohoo!
For sure.
Season 2 of the Night's Watch.
And if anyone
Yes.
likes the shirt Cal is wearing, you can. There's a link on the Night's Watch Blab, or is that on
Yep.
your?
Mine and Night's Watch Blab that Janine designed.
Yeah, designed by the lovely and talented Janine, as always.
Who also
who
sent
sent
us
us this
this?
awesome Game of Thrones art. She's a fan.
Daron, ataranya. Atara. He's like just sniffing around looking for treats. Ataranya. He's gonna try to hump Ghost now.
Your dogs are looking for some Bolton meat.
Yeah. It's funny when I got the Ramsey Bolton pop and he knocked it over.
Oh,
Darwin
revenge!
Darwin knocked it over. It was funny.
All right. Well, you know the questions, but
Yep.
I'll read them off anyway. I think I know this. What house do you belong in?
Yeah, so if it isn't as obvious, my cousin was just right next to me, but I wanted to show you. He had a bug on his back, so he ran out of the room. But it was a giant bug, though. It was crazy. He actually has that tattoo, and I was telling you that my house, my family's house, the sigil is a lion. So, and my full name in Indian has the word lion in it as well. So obviously I'd have to be a Lannister. I wish my cousin was here to show you his tattoo, but yeah, he has the lion from our crest, our family crest on his arm. So, yeah, it would be Lannisters.
That's cool.
And proud of it. But though, if I had to like choose which weather I would like, I'd probably want to be a Stark or maybe like a wildling, so I can be in the snow all the time. That would be great. But or a White Walker even. I'd take that.
I mean, you could be a Lannister and then volunteer for the Wall.
That's true. That works for me.
Nice.
But then I had to give up my name, right? I had to give up my name, which would suck.
And you'd have to be celibate. That's the worst part.
You would have to be. You just can't have kids.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because there's always Molestown.
Have you seen the ladies at Molestown?
That's true. Well, you could be like Sam and get Gilly, right?
I just think of the one girl who like, have you seen his cock? It's like a hangnail, and she's like extra gnarly. That's what I think of when I think of Molestown.
Yo, baby woke me up last night.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's eating another bone. He's eating a Ramsay bone.
Nice. They want you to say the Lannisters send their regards.
The Lannisters send their regards? Is that what they wanted? I don't have a dagger on me, so I can't do it.
That's pretty
This is my cousin, by the way. He's over here.
Come on, everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Which house would you belong to?
Targaryen.
He said Targaryen. He's betraying our family.
That's what's up. Betray them.
Hey, man, Lannisters and Targaryens not so far apart, so...
That's true.
The Lannisters betrayed
In fact-
the Targaryens, so it's just...
Well, but they also sleep with their family in both families, so it works out, right?
That's what I'm saying. And fair hair.
Yes. And a Lannister may be a Targaryen. We might find out soon.
They are related to the Targaryens if you go up the family tree.
Yeah.
All the houses.
So, you're a super fan. Whose death affected you the most?
Affected me was definitely Hodor, because I actually almost shed a tear. Like, I was getting emotional. Like, when that happened, that scene was just like, so touching. And I think, didn't J.J. Abrams write that episode or something? Or somebody did, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
If this is a lost tie-in, I'm not buying.
It's a lost tie-in, right? I gotta get that in, you know. But yeah, I think he did, right? I'm pretty sure he did. Or somebody like from Lost fandom wrote that episode.
Fact checkers, let us know in the chat.
Somebody will write that in the chat, I think.
We need like a conch horn, so like,
But yeah, no, that was such a good scene, and like, and you know how it tied into like the flashback as well, and finding out his what happened to him. That was amazing.
For sure, I agree.
Do you want to answer? What death affected you? No, he doesn't know.
Who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
Probably Jon Snow. I think like he's pretty honorable. Like I would say Daenerys because like one, she's hot, and she's got dragons and an awesome team, like you said. Like, but that's too easy. I want like someone like at least I'll be in Winterfell, so there'll be snow. So I got in both ways there'll be Jon Snow as well as snow. So I'll be happy with that. And I don't know. I think it's just an honorable cause. And you have Lyanna Mormont, who's awesome, right? So she's just a badass.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that it'd be fun being an underdog. You know, first having to fight against the Ramses men. You know, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I'd probably die in that battle, but you know, if I survived, it would be cool to go on to fight for the Iron Throne with Jon Snow.
Nice.
Word. I also like if I hadn't picked like an outside organization or something like that, I definitely would have picked Davos because he's just a good like person to have on your team. Because he's able to like round people up and kind of sway people's causes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Davos is really effective. Well, but he comes with John now, so that's cool.
Right. Package deal.
Package
Tina's
deal.
here.
Tina!
Hey, Tina.
All right, so one more question for tonight. Which dearly departed Game of Thrones character would you like to see back?
So like I really thought about this, and the obvious answer would be like Ned because like he's just like he went way too soon. But I thought it'd be interesting if I said Lyanna Stark, because if she was alive, how would things change, right? Because then would Robert probably would have still done his rebellion, but would he have killed John because of his love for Lyanna, saying like, she's like, you love me so much, you can't kill like my only son, like just, it's a threat. I don't know, like how would things change? Like the dynamic of everything would probably change, right? Especially with Lyanna alive. So
I don't know. I think if Robert found out that Lyanna wasn't kidnapped, that she ran away willingly, and not only that, had a child with a Targaryen, I think he would be super mad. Because I don't think he.
No, but maybe she could play it off like she didn't, though. Maybe she could say she was kidnapped. That way, she could try to keep her child. And I don't know. Like I just wonder how it would work out. Like I think it would change a lot. It would be
interesting.
Yeah, I think the story would change quite drastically. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we should play a role-playing game where Lyanna's still.
Yeah, I mean, because like I thought Ned. A lot of people pick Ned because like everyone loves Ned, right? But yeah, I think it's so early and people just forget about him.
I don't think anyone would see Ned or Sean Bean coming back. You know what I mean? It'd be like, yeah, he dies.
He probably died 5 minutes later too. Yeah.
I just have Gondor issues. Like I have problems with the whole family in Lord of the Rings. So I'm like, Boromir, fuck that guy. That was like I almost like had a hard time getting into Game of Thrones because of my hatred of Boromir. Yes, and he looks so much like so fucking Boromir on the show. Like
if he had short hair, would have been better.
But I had to say, for the time that Sean Bean was on the show, he did a fantastic job.
He was good.
As Ned Stark.
I just hate Boromir.
Yeah.
And Faramir and Denethor, their terrible father, like the worst dad.
Is that the one that falls into the fire to light the thing? Was that him or no?
Denethor is the one who just like thought like Faramir got injured and
was that John Noble? Was that John Noble? I don't know. I don't know.
The guy from Fringe?
Yes.
Yeah. Because didn't he like run into the fire and light the torch, and then everyone started lighting the torches along the way for something as a rally call? I forgot. Something like that happened.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds right. I just remember like Faramir wasn't dead, but he was like, no, he's dead. My son's done. Like he just like wanted him to be dead and had like the whole wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died.
But yeah.
One does not simply hate Boromir.
Oh, I simply do.
That's that little meme, right? Where he's like that.
You can say that he like redeemed himself, but him trying to do that was very selfish and self-serving, trying to just grasp at glory at the last minute.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
I hate him. Yeah, I see you guys talking about the Men of Gondor. Feel free to tweet at me. I'll always talk about him. But that's all the questions for tonight, buddy. Did you want to plug the Night's Watch and tell them what we have coming up?
Before we do that, I just want to get something out of the way real quick. Because Night's Watch is coming back next week, Tuesday, but on Monday, we're actually doing the next Aftermath episode with Delisha and Eric. And I think Eric will be there because it'll start at 9 o'clock this time. It's the first time, or 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. I forgot. I don't know what time it is, but it's starting an hour later than usual because it's not the first time ever not conflicting with OSP. So we'll be starting a little later. So we'll be recapping Great Balls of Fire, which has a good segue to Game of Thrones because we have Balls of Fire in Game of Thrones. So next Tuesday is the premiere, season 2 premiere of The Night's Watch that I do with Tom and Kimber. We'll be recapping season 6, and then after that, every subsequent week after that, we'll be recapping every episode of season 7. And as you guys have been watching all the Odd Shape channel shows, we've been giving away or naming one prize every week for the Night's Box. So far we have the Jon Snow pop vinyl. And then we have what Tom and Kimber donated was the Funko Legacy Brienne of Tarth figure. And then last week I revealed the Ghost action figure, the Ghost pop vinyl. And the final giveaway item will be a very own Night's Watch shirt. So
nice.
whoever wins will give me their size and what style they want, either man or female, whichever one you want. And we will put it, we'll send it to you along with the Night's Box. And we'll tell you how to win that next week on the premiere. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
And not forgetting anything.
I don't think so. Next Night's Watch, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6.
And hopefully I'll have a surprise for that. Hopefully we'll see if it works out. I'm still working on that surprise, but I mean, at least you got Ghost today, right? So here's a Ghost.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Ghost coming back?
Yeah, I wish. We're trying to get another Ghost. I've been looking to rescue another dog that looks like Ghost, but there he goes. But now here's the other one now.
There he goes.
Oh, there goes Arwen now too. He's following Ghost.
Nice.
Troublemakers.
Yeah, so just follow like all of us on Twitter. Like you can follow, you guys have yours, and then like we also have the Night's Watch too on Twitter. If no one knows about that yet, the Night's Watch has its own Twitter, which I'll be starting to post starting tomorrow. It's at Night's Watch 2, so like YouTube, Night's Watch 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna update the our Twitter bio to include that. So after probably tonight, that should be in there. If you ever can't remember it, it's right there, or it will be. Anyway, thanks, Cal. Once we
Yep,
finish
thank you
up,
for having.
no problem, man. I like that the Night's Box is kind of pro Stark. That's pretty good. You got Brandon and Ghost and John. That's dope, and the wall. But once that contest wraps up, we'll be doing our channel giveaway, which we've announced all the prices, but we haven't figured out the actual video yet. We gotta record it. So we'll do that after we wrap up Night's Watch. The Night's Box, that's a mouthful. And so it's gonna be a summer full of gifts because we also have a space opera giveaway coming up after that. So keep a lookout. We want to bribe people to watch us. So
one quick thing, if you're a big fan of Pops, I know GameStop is having a sale right now. Buy 3 get 1 free, and they're all like on sale. Like all of them are like under $10.
He froze, but I think he said right now.
What happened?
We froze. You were saying GameStop's having a sale?
Oh yeah, GameStop is having a sale for Pops. Buy 3 get 1 free, and all of them are under $10, except for like the giant ones. They're all under $10. So and you can buy 3 and get 1 free.
It's not our GameStop's been selling stuff for cheap a lot lately. I think they're closing up shop because all of our local.
So I just thought I'd throw it out there because a lot of people love Pops, so I figured I'd throw that out there.
Oh yeah,
Get my Game of Thrones ones out today.
I thought I had the Night's King and I didn't get it. And I was like, I have it already, but I didn't have it. So now I'm going to go back tomorrow and get it, I think. Oh, Wednesday, I guess, because tomorrow's probably going to be closed.
Nice. You should look for the giant pop idol.
No, I asked for Twin Peaks. They didn't have any.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I was actually going to get a Cooper for Tina because I know she really wants that Cooper one. So I was going to get that Cooper one and send it to her. But they didn't have any Twin Peaks, unfortunately.
Boo. It's like our local Hot Topic didn't have any of the Twin Peaks Hot Topic stuff. Like
I might check another GameStop out though, so hopefully I can get it.
Yeah, there's a really cool waitress dress from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I want it really bad, but they didn't have the freaking merch.
Which
at
one?
Our local
Waitress?
They have like the Twin Peaks waitress, like the Double R Diner, like waitress dress at Hot Topic, but our Hot Topic didn't get it.
I'll check it out. Like, let me know what you guys like, which ones you guys want to. I'm gonna check out my GameStop and another GameStop by me and see if I can find any other ones. So you guys are looking at Twin Peaks ones too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I know that
I'll check it out.
Joe or Sunny for a giveaway.
Yeah, if you see anything that you might, tweet us and ask us because we already have some prices for that off to the side. But if you see anything you might think would fit the space opera theme, let us know.
Oh, I'm just gonna give it to you guys if you want for yourselves. But yeah, if you want stuff for the giveaway too, I'll do that too.
Hopefully we don't lose some Twin Peaks one in the mail. So because those, oh my god, that Leland is so cute. Anyway, I
remember Joe showing it off. So but I'm just looking for anybody. If anybody wants it, let me know. I'll check out my GameStops as well.
Yeah,
just tweet it.
Cal's Twitter's in the descript. So if you want,
sorry.
All right,
Ghost is coming back.
See you later, Cal.
All right, see ya.
Tell your mom and dad we said hi.
All right, well, see ya.
They're the sweetest.
Bye.
Oh, no one lets me eject them.
All right, we're gonna have the next 3 callers, just so people are aware. It's gonna be Eric, then Billy, then Corey. I saw some people asking in the chat. While we call Eric Monroe, Morgan, who we just saw, asked us, what would your sigil be if you could create your own sigil? So go ahead and send us your answers in the chat, and I'll read them. I sent a cool gif of a unicorn fighting, like sword fighting, with its horn against the guy's sword. So that's what I chose for my sigil.
What colors would you pick?
Rose gold and black.
That's cool. I like it. Mine would probably be.
You don't know? You didn't think about it?
Probably like. Oh no. For some reason, like, I always like rabbits, but like rabbits aren't threatening at all. So like maybe rabbits. I don't want to say what like briars around them because that just brings me to Disney
He's doing
World.
a bit, so let him.
Hold on. Let me. You're not making any noise, so I gotta click your picture.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, no.
Representing
Your heart's on
Team
fire.
Stannis here.
Before we get too much into the
Yes.
Stannis thing, we did get some responses in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and read them. Raul says his sigil would be in Impala, and I'm not sure if he means the animal or the car, but
It's a car.
Corey says a chicken looking like Foghorn Leghorn with armor, breathing fire. Interesting.
Did you get Stannis?
That's a Stannis. I think he got it.
Oh, at
earlier.
Wizard World?
Yeah.
My favorite thing.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
world.
we found them.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing?
The car, Raul says, of course.
We're doing good.
What would you have chosen as your sigil, Eric?
Something with flames. Maybe something with. I love fish, so maybe something with fish. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it because I love a lot of things. I would try to put it all in into one package, not just one thing.
Just a school.
Yeah.
Ashley also wants a unicorn. That's my soul sister.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Matt says because he does the SCA, which is armored MMA fighting, I call it. And he would say his is a crescent moon with a rondelle placed in it. I don't know exactly what he's talking about.
I like
and with a flame on top. That sounds cool.
That's cool.
Nice. All right, so I guess how many of these questions answers are Stannis?
A couple, and I have something Tom. We're going to. I will speak very quickly, but I have some stuff to say about the status death question. I have to say my piece. I have to say my piece now, but I have to say my piece.
I just want to direct you to what Matt asked about your Funko in the chat. The Bear Mongolian.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it says the Funko still has a head on it. Why?
Because we never saw Stannis' head leave his body on the show. That's why.
Spicy.
All right. You guys are making Eric spicy. Don't bully him.
Or not. It's all good fun.
Oh, no. I love debating. Well, when it comes to Stannis, I mean. Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's get right into these questions. The first one, which house would you belong in?
Now, I'm a very loyal person. I'm loyal to my friends. I'm loyal to what I believe in. So I would belong with Stark because they're loyal. So I think that would be I was thinking of saying Wildling because I'm kissed by fire and, we make good Wildlings, but I would have to go. I think I would belong as a Stark because I'm loyal to a fault. Sometimes too loyal. But yeah, I would have to go with Stark. And I do love the Starks. I loved Ned. I love Arya. Sansa I didn't love in the beginning so much, but now I do like her. I'll always be a Stark fan.
They've
made mistakes.
I like Sansa much more in the books when you can hear her inner monologue and you see that she's much smarter than she appears and she really thinks out the things that she's saying out loud. It's really hard to portray on the show. I find her much more interesting in the books.
Yeah. They did a better job of that in season 6, but I hear what you're saying.
I was reading an article today that said that the actress who plays Sansa was talking about how she learned that was her sex education being on Game of Thrones.
I read that article.
Because she would read the scripts and she that's how she found out what oral sex was.
An oral, yep.
Because she read it in a script Game of Thrones.
That.
And then someone was like, the headline was, "This is the most Sansa shit I've ever heard in my life." That's how she found out about it. I was cracking up. It was so good.
Oh, that's so funny. And she's changed a lot from the pilot episode to now. Bran has changed the most out of all the characters, but she's also changed a lot when you watch the pilot to where she is now. Yeah.
For sure.
So I would go with Stark.
Very cool. I feel like I might know the answer, but whose death affected you the most?
It was Shireen's.
Yeah.
It was absolutely Shireen's. Now, as everybody knows, I was super heavily invested in this story. I think Shireen was a much more layered character on the show. I loved her relationship with Davos. That's something that's not in the books. And when the scene plays out with Stannis talking about destiny and forgive me and the musical score to play, it's something the show doesn't get enough credit for. They have such a wonderful musical score. It was the haunting score, and you see Shireen taking that long walk. I was crying. I was hoping, please, Stannis, don't do this. Relent, please. Don't do this." Because when Melisandre first brought it up to him a few episodes before it, he was like, "Have you lost your mind? Get out."
Yeah.
But when the scene when she sees the stake and she sees Melisandre standing there smiling and they grab her and put her on the stake, I just was like, "Oh my God, no, no, no!" And then seeing Stannis come out, watching it with this possessed look, that was the moment he truly went all in with the Lord of Light, mumbo jumbo. That was it. And then you see Selyse saying, "This is what the Lord wants," blah blah blah. And what shocked me about the scene was Selyse being the one that relented.
Yeah.
But she asked this to be done in season 4. She's like, she needs the rod, and Stannis is like, "She's my daughter. You will never strike her." So that scene was just so heartbreaking that, shameless plug, I do video recaps of Game of Thrones, that all my friends text me and they were like, "Do your review right now, right after the episode aired," because they wanted the emotion to be raw. And if you watch it, you will see me tear up and almost cry. But I have something to say about this. Now, for a lot of people, it's just Stannis killed his daughter and that's it. There's nothing else. Got to go deeper into this. When you get into the psyche of the character, you saw Hardhome, correct, Tom?
Yeah.
You saw what happened at the end of Hardhome, correct? He truly believed that was going to happen to everyone, the whole realm. He absolutely believed it. Now, should he have believed that? He had examples of Melisandre's magic, as he says to Davos. He says, "I saw a vision in the flames," to Davos. He says to Davos, "You saw whatever she gave birth to." And Davos even points out in season 6 to Melisandre, "You showed me miracles can happen." So Stannis had examples of her magic and power. Now, did he start to believe some of his own hype? Yes. Did he also have the ambition? Yes. But I also believe he truly wanted to stop the Long Night and save the realm. Now, was he right to do this? No. But I think there's just much more to it than just he just killed his daughter and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to say my piece. Sorry about that.
I see that. But Stannis didn't care until he was an important figure in that. When he was said, "Oh, you are going to be the hero," then he was like, "Oh, I'm the hero? Okay, I'm down." He's doing it because he's the hero.
Well,
I'm gonna pause you guys. I'm gonna pause you guys for a second so I can read people's answers before they go too far up in the chat. I got some more sigils in the chat. I know Billy said an S made out of more S's in red and gold. Candace said
That's
a
cool.
decapitated mermaid. That is very her. And Mac is saying skull and crossbones, very simply, would be his sigil. Billy is also praising Ramin Djawadi, the composer of Game of Thrones. He's amazing. My favorite thing about Stannis actually is his theme song.
Music.
Yeah, I love
He had the best music on the show. Absolutely.
But yeah, continue with your Stannis debate.
So what I was saying, so you have to get in the mind of the character. Now you're saying he only cared when he was told this. He was a man of duty. Robert told him, "Hold Storm's End." He held it. Robert told him, "Destroy the Greyjoy fleet during the Greyjoy rebellion." He did it. So Melisandre says, "Only you are the one." Season 3 finale, she says to him, "Death is marching on the wall. Only you can stop it." Ravens went out to everyone about what was going on at the wall. Who was the only one that showed up at the wall to do anything about it? Stannis. Because he was the king who truly cared. Yes, he also had ambition, but he also cared about the realm.
He also went to the wall. He also went to the wall to get men to fight. He didn't go there to offer aid to the wall.
Yes, he did. He wanted to stop. Well, yeah, it was both. He wanted to save the Night's Watch, obviously, but he also wanted troops. You're right.
So it was more important
that
he won than it was that because they could have fortified the castle and then stayed there and then continued the war. You know what I mean? The war didn't have.
He ended it quicker. But he ended it quicker. He saved lives by ending it.
He saved lives because they ran away.
He slaughtered. Well, yeah, a lot of them ran away, and a lot of them he killed.
We should just do a separate Stannis debate episode because we can just go all day.
Just for clarification, the book, Wildling support him in the book. I just want to say that. But they changed stuff on the show, which upset me. He does have some Wildling support in the book.
Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But I just like picking apart.
I get passionate about this. I'm sorry. I get very passionate about Stannis. He's my boy. I got to defend him after I hear all this shade. Some of it's justified.
At least you're making valid points and not just blindly defending him, and
He's
I can
tens
respect
of-
that.
Of course. I always say to Kimber, I'm like, Kimber, can I back up what I'm saying even if you don't agree with me?
Oh, always.
I'll
If
always
anyone
listen.
has, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
always listen to you. I just usually won't agree when it comes to Stannis.
Well, I got Ken Knapsack, so that's all I need. I'm just kidding. All right, so moving on.
Who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
Stannis. Of course, Stannis. Well, here's the thing. Knowing what I know now, well, I'm not a son of a king.
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know
Gendry
King's
didn't think
blood.
he was the son of a king.
I have no king's blood, at least to my knowledge, although if Melisandre said I did, I might go up. But like knowing what I know now, I might have a different answer. But at the onset of all this, I would go with Stannis. He is one of the best military commanders on the show, even though a lot of his success we didn't see actually on the show. It's more in the lore. You have to read about it. But I just believe in him. I think he would be a far better ruler than Robert would ever be because he would care about ruling. He would know how to take care of things. He would not be getting drunk. He would not be going to brothels.
I agree there.
Robert was in 3 small council meetings when he was king. Stannis would be at every single meeting he could possibly be at because he would care about ruling.
Yeah, like you
Now
said, Stannis is a man of duty, so I believe he would do right, but he's also easily led astray, I think, as we've seen
True.
in some examples.
That's
so
true.
I wouldn't trust someone like Littlefinger around him and stuff like that. I'm Renly, man of the people, even if he wasn't the rightful heir.
Him and Ned would have been an awesome team.
Oh yeah, can you imagine Renly with Ned as the hand to the king?
They easily would have taken King's Landing, but Renly was a jerk.
Renly, I feel like
Stannis-
Renly believed his own hype too. You know what I mean? It didn't help that the Tyrells backed him so
But
quickly.
like the Queen of Thorns is like in season 3. What claim could Renly have had to the throne? He had an elder brother. It was treason. I mean, and Renly was also an ungrateful little shit. Stannis kept him alive during the siege of Storm's End. Where was Renly's gratitude? No gratitude.
Yeah,
I'm not a Renly fan.
he put
I'm not a
the-
Renly fan. I'm not a Renly fan.
I like him.
I'm no Renly fan. If he would have done the right thing, I would have done.
We don't get to see a lot of the lords and stuff kind of like in their prime in Game of Thrones. A lot of it is like they're already past their prime. So to see Renly kind of like in the thick of it, he's currently Loras is the tourney champ, but still like they're involved. So I associate them with each other.
But I think
Like
for
to
any
see-
leader, though, you have to go through at least some trial and tribulation. And Renly was handed Storm's End. Renly just expected to be handed the throne. He didn't go through any of that. That's why I don't think he would have been a great leader. I think it would have been easy to. He would have empowered enemies to come and take him out because I don't see Renly as being strong.
I think
Very well liked, but not strong.
The most important thing about the Iron Throne is the people that you have around you, and if Stannis has you around him, maybe that's a ally well spent.
And Davos. I love Davos.
No doubt.
Davos is great, but I think he's doing a little better over on Team John right now. All right, so what
right.
character would you bring back to life?
Well, I'm going to go, of course, the obvious answer would be him, but I want to go a little different to change things up, not to keep every answer as Stannis. I was a big Mance Rayder fan. In the book, I was a big fan of the actor on the show, Corin Hines. I think he was amazing. I think he got shortchanged. I just finished my rewatch of Game of Thrones, all 6 seasons, and he was in like 4 or 5 episodes. And in a lot of those episodes, he was in like one scene. And Corin Hines is such a wonderful actor. When I heard he was playing the King Beyond the Wall, I was so happy. I'm like, oh, he's perfect for the choice. And I think his talents were wasted. And no book spoiler. I won't say what happens. There's a twist in the book involving his character the show chose not to do, which disappointed me greatly because I wanted to see more Mance. I loved the scenes with Jon. Even the one scene with Stannis I thought was great. So I would bring back the King Beyond the Wall.
Not only Mance Rayder, but that his whole family kind of got shorted.
Yeah, he had a baby.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin loves baby swaps, and it happens all the time in the books.
They're not doing spoilers.
I'm not saying who is who.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have another character I would have liked to bring back too. I have complaints. Barristan Selmy. That was cool, what they did on the show. Barristan, for those of you who don't know, is alive and well in the books. That was a total, like, our roommate was so incredibly mad. Like, I've never seen him so pissed about anything show related ever as them striking down Barristan like they did.
I was so disappointed because, you know, where he go, not to say book spoilers, he's the one that's really left.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a warrior. I mean, it's cool we got to see him actually fight, but the actor who played him was very, very disappointed because he's a fan of the show. So he knew where his character was in the books. So when he got the scripts, it was very little, and he said, something's wrong here. They called and then tell him that you're dying, and he was very upset because he said he thought he was going to have a lot more to do. But
and he was such
I loved Whitebeard. I always call him Whitebeard.
Yeah.
But I love Barristan Selmy. I agree with you on that. I wish he was still there. He was, you know, a casualty. They wanted to, you know, confine things, I guess, for whatever reason. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's all the questions that we have for tonight, buddy. But it's always nice talking to you. If you guys
always
want
nice talking to you too.
Ever debate about Stannis, you guys know where to find Eric. He is always down. So
at mkoch200 on Twitter.
And yeah, and you can catch him on Aftermath. Did you have anything else to plug?
Oh yeah, I do a little Game of Thrones recap show called Now Mine is the Fury. Thanks to you, Kimber. I'm going to record that later this week. I will tweet it out, and you can let me know what you think. Even if you hate Stannis, you can tweet me about it. I don't care. I want to hear it. All opinions I love.
Yeah, the great thing about, you know, multiple people doing recap shows is we all have a different opinion on everything. So
exactly. I love that. And of course, I will call into your show every single week. I will try my best because
I would. Yeah,
I expect it.
Wouldn't be the same without you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Real quick, I wanted to leave you on a little. Kimber mentioned our roommate, who is a big book reader fan, and we had a collection of the house symbol magnets.
You told this story before.
Well, I'll tell it again. And so it was Stannis' scene, right, with Brienne, and he just comes in afterwards, and he just goes, "So can we just throw this away now?"
I would have been crying.
Ours was the.
I didn't think it was.
Ours was the Fury.
That's great. Good stuff.
All right, we'll
bye. I'll let you eject me. You can eject me.
So
hold on.
I got to double check the list. I believe it's Billy next, but
Patchface.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that. Ashley asked us, what's the most annoying change from the book to the show? Mine is missing characters. I would have loved to have Ariane Martell there. She's really interesting. And she strengthens the Martell storyline. Patchface is a huge one to me. It sucks that we don't have Patchface because Patchface is so interesting to me. And Tom is interested in Patchface as well. If you guys don't know about Patchface, look into it. There are some really cool videos about Patchface's predictions, but that's my main big complaint is missing characters and Barristan being gone. So tweet us. Yeah, no Lady Stoneheart. Corey, that's another one. Again, missing characters.
Mine is kind of, the book has got some good like false leads to kind of like make you wonder like who is who actually has a claim and stuff like that. And we kind of don't have like young Griff, he's thrown away. Like that's a character we never explore. And I think the show kind of lacks those false leads, like to wonder like what else is going on, whether conspiracies are there, which we have enough, you know what I mean? And I understand why they cut characters out.
For sure. I think Billy's trying to do a bit.
Oh, I know he is. I'm kind of extending it. Here, let me, it won't show up unless he's still talking. So there we go.
Do your bit.
It's you, Billy. Go.
And all I am just thinking about is the South Park Wiener song. I've been thinking about it ever since we started. What's up, guys?
I have complaints about the South Park Wiener song because it's got more wieners in it than the show does. Like, it's not as advertised. I could go for some more wieners on the show.
Yeah, so American
Show us that Dario Nahara stick is all I'm saying.
Wiener. But no, I'm ready to talk Game of Thrones. As you can see, I'm very psyched. I got my 6 seasons right here, my 5 books right there. Got my pins, my shirt. Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Well, what house do you think you belong in, Billy?
Well, I believe it will be my favorite house, and I've been very, very, very clear on this. That would be House Stark. And I chose House Stark. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, but like they are morally probably the best family. Like they do some shady stuff every once in a while. Like for example, Rob letting Jamie go. That was a big like why did you do that? But and he did it behind his or no, it wasn't Rob. It was Catelyn. Catelyn let Jamie go behind Rob's back. So, I mean, that's pretty shady. But I did it because, like, I mean, there's the central characters, and I feel like I would fit in really well. It just seems like they're just a good family, and they'll raise you well. You'll fight well. You'll be fed well. You'll be taught. You'll be educated well. Everything about it, it feels like the baggage is mostly just Ned's and not so much his family, which is something that I appreciate. Ned doesn't involve his family. He just sort of looks sad all the time, and that's why he's got Catelyn, and then he can just talk about it with her. And you know, he raises like 6 kids, one of which is a bastard. It's not even his. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I would definitely go House Stark because just they're great, and I'm with them till the end.
I feel like House Stark is growing in numbers just on this show tonight.
We're a loyal bunch.
Winter is in fact coming.
It's here.
Winter is already here, love.
I wish Morgan was here.
I know he'd be like, now that is terrible. He'd be like, just Christ.
He says that John does not sound northern at all. It's a huge complaint of his.
He doesn't.
He says that Sam Tarley sounds like he's from Manchester, where Morgan's from, but he says he's trying, but it's not working out for him with the accent. So, whose death affected you the most?
I would hate to sound like a broken record. There's actually, I'm gonna go with 2, but first one was Ned, simply not because of the death itself, but because of just the fact that they were willing to go there. Like no other show has ever done that before, where he was the main character of the show. And then when I heard Joffrey, he goes, Sir Ilyn, bring me his head. I went like, I shit you not. This was my reaction. I was just like, no fucking way. I mean, I was so shocked. And like, I had not read the books up until that point. So I was just like, are you kidding me? Even when he's the main character, Sean Bean can't live. He just can't. But like, it had a huge ripple effect on the 7 Kingdoms and just all of Westeros and even Essos to a small extent, but mostly Westeros. But really, the one that got me was, I know I joke about it with you all the time, Kimber, but it is really Hodor. Like, how could you... Shireen was a 3rd place, and people have explained why Shireen or whatever is a very devastating death, and it is. But Hodor is just as innocent as Shireen, and he was loyal to a fault. He would always just like smile and just tell you Hodor. You got what he was going across. Like you could tell what he meant, even though all he could say was Hodor. And yeah, you've seen many reaction videos of holding the door, and yeah, it's pretty rough. It's still very rough, and yeah, it's like losing a best friend. You know, he's like, I mean, he's like a big teddy bear. You can't help but love him, and took it away from me.
I would argue Hodor is more innocent than Shireen, just because like he literally does not know better. He's like the nice version of Tyrion's cousin. He refuses to. What was the noise he made?
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
Do you want the clever answer or do you want the real answer? Clever answer would be whoever's convenient at the time. But
That's a little finger answer.
that's a very little finger answer. Maybe that's a hint as to who I would kind of be like, even though it's very hypocritical with the family I picked. But the actual answer, probably Daenerys, just because, I mean, she's got, like, everybody is coming around to it. And, yeah, you're right. She could probably be a villainess. I would, if I was in that position, I would just be, like, I would just banter with her all the time, just, like, have a bunch of fun, but still, like still advise her. And then if she tries to screw me over, I would, I'd get to her first. Very little finger of me.
She is the bad guy. Period.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, like, she's going down that path, but I'm okay with going down that path because you know what?
Then you get to be a henchman.
It's for the good of the realm, man.
Is it?
I mean,
She's gonna burn them all.
Well, she's gonna maybe, but do they really deserve?
Eric, have you seen Danny? I'm responding to Eric in the chat. He said, "Why anyone not wants to be near Danny? I don't understand. Have you seen Danny? Just saying. Just throwing that.
Yeah,
out there.
she's hot. In fact, she'll burn you alive.
I like her.
Okay, and then I see Corey said something about Yoko. We're not talking about the Beatles, Corey.
They're talking about Melisandre, but that's a whole separate.
I mean, yeah, she basically is Yoko. Oh no, in the fact that she broke up Stannis's band essentially.
Had enough Stannis for one night. So you said Danny, right? That was your answer.
Yeah, Daenerys, and I think I would use my charming personality to win her over, and if not, I would just be a loyal knight that would gladly just serve in the Kingsguard. Like Davos, I have very simple goals. I wouldn't want to become a king. I would not want to become famous. I just want to serve and protect the realm, even if inevitably she's gonna burn them all.
Nice. And the last question for tonight is, which deceased character would you like to bring back to life on Game of Thrones?
Oh, what deceased character I would like to bring back? I would say Ned, but as you can tell, I love Ned just as much as Eric loves Stannis. But I'm actually going to go with Oberyn. And
yes.
Here's why. Because, first of all, he was robbed of his revenge, like, prematurely. And also, screw you, Qyburn. Screw you, Qyburn. You just ruined Oberyn's entire purpose of being in King's Landing just so you could serve Cersei. And, like, as God knows, she doesn't deserve it. And he was just a very charming character. You felt like this guy just didn't care what people thought of him. He just did things. And he did it without really any consequences. And he was a lot smarter than people thought initially. You'd just be like, oh, he's just this cocky prince of Dorne that just has sex with anything, really, with his girlfriend. But no, he did everything for very specific reasons. Anything to help him avenge his sister's death and for the betterment of Dorne. Because Dorne in Game of Thrones is essentially its own nation. It's not really part of the Seven Kingdoms. It's only that by name. It's more of like its own government.
Like our Puerto Rico.
Pretty much, yeah. And I was so angry at the show for just ruining Dorne. It looked great. I mean, they shot it in Spain. The weather looked great, but like majority of the characters from Dorne are not good, and that's really sad because they also left out one character I was really hoping, and that's Arianne Martell, who is Doran's daughter. And there's just this one scene in the 5th book, and she goes like, why do you keep treating me like this? How come I can't do anything without your permission? And then like Doran just sounds so devastated, and he's just like, Oberyn was the snake, I was the grass. You know, they worked as a team and everything, and I was really looking forward to that. And Alexander Siddig is a great actor as well, the man who played Doran.
Yeah.
And they just totally wasted him. But yeah, I would definitely go Oberyn.
You won't hear an argument from me. I fucking love Oberyn. He is the best, and that was not enough Oberyn. But are you up to anything? You have anything you want to plug?
Well, I just guest starred on Tom Zambino's podcast, Popcorn or Cars and Popcorn, and we talked about Steve McQueen film Bullet. Mostly that's car chase, but yeah, I'm around. As I put in my Twitter bio now, I just put we'll guest on any podcast, and yeah, I'm just always around, just supporting everybody I like, and you guys are always going to be that. So yeah, just hit me up on Twitter at @bbusterbill, and I don't produce any content yet. I'm hoping to change that. I just need I'm just thinking of an idea, but I hope I can produce content with you guys, because
Of course.
I love all this collaboration. It's great. Synergy, yo.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation outside of this. Speaking of collaboration, we want to say hello to Mormo in the chat, who's watching us
Hi,
on
Mormo.
television. If you haven't, another new show to Odd Shape channel is the Mormo Zone. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, it's a cool like subculture, like niche culture like show. Kimber was the first guest, and we have a second one lined up, so check that out. The Bullet with Tom Zambino's podcast, that can be found by following the link in the description. It helps everything. Segway King, down to one link.
All right, Billy. We will talk to you soon, and yeah, let us know if you're doing it. We'll come on any of your guys' shows. If you want to do shows, you're always here. You guys are awesome. We will support every one of you as much as we can. So definitely let us know, Billy.
Oh yeah, and one more thing for Cal: 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. He knows what those mean. All right.
Yeah, we don't know what it means. It doesn't mean it's.
It will happen one way or.
Get out of here. That's your
Raul? I know Delicia's not here at the moment, but Mac, Randall, and Tom Z, if they're around at that point, and Candace are still on the list. So.
And we do have an hour and a half left, and we've had some more people join us. So we might need to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah. Bear with us, though.
And it wouldn't be OSP without fireworks going on in the background. So, Corey, you should have a link on the way. Shout out when you get here. Do we have any other core questions on Twitter?
I would have to look at that. I don't think we had a ton of them.
We're looking for suggestions for the next OSP. So if you guys have any, space up or we got space out. So if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and throw them in the chat or tweet at us at OddShaped Panel. Hashtag Tough OSP.
Hello.
Hey Corey, how are you?
I'm okay.
I am gonna shout out a question here real quick. Janine asked us, who do you think is Azor Ahai? So let us know in the chat. My answer is Davos Seaworth. So
Really?
let me know who you guys think is the prince that was promised, or Azor Ahai. All right, Corey, let me just pull up the questions real quick. I know the first one is, what house do you think you would belong in Westeros?
Well, I got to go with Stark, but I didn't realize it was going to be so damn popular. So, okay, but yeah, I can barely even argue. I run a debate show. I can barely even argue. I keep going. Yeah, well, you make some good points. You know, I'm too honorable. So that's my problem. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Starks.
Cool.
Real quick on your question, we got some replies in here, and if you have a thought on this, Corey, we'd love to know what you think. Eric says his money is still on Jon. I still think that Azor Ahai and the prince who was promised are two separate people. Danny could easily be one or both. John could easily be one or both.
Candace says Tyrion.
Tyrion would be interesting.
That's what I was going to say.
Nice.
And Janine is agreeing with me. She read the theory about Davos and thinks that's a pretty solid one.
I also like Davos as a theory.
That's your favorite guy too.
He is. And even like I can see the sword or the sword in the night or the you know what I mean being
Melisandre. Me
being
and Eric were talking about this. She's a red sword.
that's but she doesn't actually do anything.
Not yet.
But you know who wasn't Azor Ahai? Stannis.
Yeah. He was the prince who was falsely advertised. It's not his fault. It's right.
Sorry.
It's Rylora's fault. If we're gonna blame anybody, let's blame the God of Light. All right. Question number 2 was whose death affected you the most?
Okay, it comes down to 2 for me, but they kind of go right together, and you can pick either one. It doesn't matter. But Tommen, I'm going to pick Tommen, but it was Tommen and or Rickon for me, because when I first read these books years ago, I read them with my stepson who loved them, and we used to talk about like who might be the next king or whatever, and we'd have those conversations. And it was weird because we always said, well, I bet the entire older generation wipes itself out. And it's going to be Tommen or Rickon basically getting grandfathered in because there's nobody else left. And as it turns out, Tommen and Rickon are dead. And when Tommen, I have to go with Tommen because Tommen jumped out that window and I was not expecting it. Spoilers.
Why do you think they call it King's Landing?
No, I don't. Very nice. I've been making extra crispy jokes about Shireen all night, so I have no.
Shireen is the equivalent to Dog Girl from Fullmetal Alchemist to me. Whenever I just think about them, I just get sad.
Yeah, but yeah, Tommen would have to be my answer because he. I really had hopes for that kid. He was starting to do a decent job, and yeah, he was a little messed up by the church, but who hasn't been? Wasn't his fault.
Kimber is raising her hand in the corner.
I also
that Game of Thrones dress she's wearing looks really cool, by the way.
Yeah, you should. I think that was from Halloween 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was James Patrick March from American Horror Story, and Kimber was Daenerys. She had the wig and everything. Yeah, I liked where you're going with the younger generation. I would love to see Mormont, Lyanna on the throne eventually. I just don't want her marrying Jon. Like.
Oh, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think at all that's what's going to happen.
No, I don't either. But like the only reason she would be on the throne would kind of be that. But I think that the books and the show are going to end very differently no matter what, because like Rickon is on an island full of cannibals who are riding unicorns on Skagos, and that's where Davos is. He's looking for Rickon. So it's very different in the books, and I would not be surprised if we did get a younger king, because I think the show's kind of a false flag, because who's going to read the books after seeing the show when they finally come out? You know what I mean?
If maybe if he didn't take 9 years for every book,
Yeah, I was just talking about this the other day. He was doing Stephen King and R.R. Martin were interviewing each other. It's a really cool interview. It's about an hour long.
I've seen that actually.
And Martin asked him how he writes his book so damn fast, but to be fair, he has a lot to cover.
It'd be worse if they weren't so good.
They are so good, but he's probably in his head about what if I put out a bad book after all this friggin' hype. You know what I mean? It is a lot of pressure. All right, question 3, which is, who would you ally yourself with in order to sit on the Iron Throne?
I'll tell you, I would cherry pick a couple people, and
nice.
And I would go for Varys and Tyrion. I would basically reunite the first small council that we met, because Varys is a good guy. I mean, maybe not good if you're on the wrong side of him, but he does not want to be king, so that's good for him. But he wants the realm to do well. So you listen to him, and things generally get better. Tyrion, same thing. He would be my hand if I had a chance. But also, and I know Kimber's going to hate this, Littlefinger. All you have to do to defuse Littlefinger is just offer to marry him off to the Starks, to Sansa. He'll be fine. That's all he wants.
Sansa will murder him in his sleep.
That would be nice.
But that's not my problem. I'm just trying to become king. Okay, so all I have to do is be allied with them in a very Game of Thrones type fashion. All I have to do is be allied to them for a couple of years, then send his ass home to get murdered. I don't care. I'm done with him now.
Yeah, my only. Oh, hi, Nichelle. My only worry about that is that Littlefinger and Varys would be undercutting each other all the time, because you see that all the time in the small council meetings when he like tries to sit in front of Varys.
I would
like,
pick
very,
one.
Yeah, but I would know that because
now you're mixing player.
You didn't say I couldn't use player knowledge.
Okay. If we didn't parenthesize.
But I mean, all you have to do is watch them for a couple minutes, and you can see that that's what they're doing, and let them bicker, and they're not trying to kill me. See,
I'd say pick one or the other, and definitely pick Varys, because Varys sucks far much less than Littlefinger.
That's true. That's true. But I think I need them for all those for their different views. Because Tyrion would let me know if any of that crap was going on. If anybody was picking on me, Tyrion would spot it and tell me, because he again doesn't want to be king. The only one I'd have to worry about plotting against me for real is Littlefinger.
He doesn't want to be king, but he's also known for, as Cersei said, his schemes and his plots. So you have to watch.
Yeah, but as long as I don't get in the way of what he wants, and he doesn't get in the way of what I want,
they're all schemers.
Yeah, you're playing with fire, is what I think.
Well, yeah, but you have to. I mean, you have to if you want to be king.
Align yourself with Melisandre.
Right. All right.
No, I saw what happened to her last one, Eric.
Last question for the night. What deceased character would you bring back to life?
All right. All right. Here we go. There's only one character I would bring back, and that would be Marjorie.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that, were you?
It's just, again, when I think about these players, like people coming back, I know we've established they just magically come back as how they were. But I still have like the whole Lady Stoneheart aesthetic to it, so I just picture like Two-Face Marjorie, which kind of sounds badass, but
it does kind of. But I mean, but without Marjorie, like if Marjorie comes back soon enough, Tommen doesn't kill himself.
True.
And those two were a good. They didn't really have time to show it, but they were a pretty decent team.
I don't know if they were a decent team. Marjorie was really good at manipulating him.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. That was the plan all from the beginning. She was not Melisandre. She just wants to be queen. That's really all she wants. So yeah, I mean, plus Marjorie has shown some ability to actually govern the people, which is something that gets totally lost in Game of Thrones sometimes. We sometimes forget that most of the stuff about plotting and stuff doesn't actually deal with the peasantry. It's just people in rooms having conversations away from the people.
Yeah, we don't have many champions of the small folk, and Marjorie was definitely one of the like the Sparrow claimed that he cared about the small folk, but I think he was just trying to put the kingdom in its place. And Marjorie was really the only she was the one who was going, okay, all the food from the wedding that we would just throw away, give it to the poor.
Yeah, and it was obviously she was pulling a move,
but still, I think she still genuinely cared about the people because she knew that was her way.
Yeah, because it benefited her, not because she actually. But that's a whole different conversation.
But there's nothing when you're trying to become. When you're embroiled in the Game of Thrones, you're going to do stuff like that. If you can get the people if you can get the people behind you, the peasantry behind you, you got a lot of power. You know, and Marjorie showed to a certain extent that she could be queen. She's a better queen than Cersei, and that's basically her rival for queenship.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the classic Machiavellian argument: is Marjorie or Cersei the better queen? Do you rule through love or power? And so far, power won.
Yeah,
so.
I kind of like Cersei now that she's awful.
But
well, no, I love Cersei. I've always liked Cersei, but I mean, I love to hate her. But I'm talking about, you know, I would bring her back because we need more. It's always nice to have bad guys in droves, but we're running out of good guys, man. There's only a few of these guys left.
Yeah. Well, at this point, like the good guys are just by comparison who's not the worst.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But we got to wrap up, and
we got to move it along a little quicker tonight if we're going to get everybody in. But real quick, did you want to plug anything?
Oh, yeah, I do a podcast about Robotech called the Tech Podcast. In the latest episode, Kimber was on it as the fact checker, as the guest fact checker. She was awesome as usual. And yeah, so check us out. We're on SoundCloud, or you can come see us on Patreon. Alien Body Part.
I'll post that link right after the episode for you guys as well.
Right. Or go to the link below in the descript, follow that to Tech Podcast, and I'll bring you right to their SoundCloud. So there's so many ways to get there. Yes.
There you go.
And I'll let you check.
In fact, now that Kimber has a guest spot on there, they're going to have a feature under guest spots.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm moving up in the world, man.
We will see you soon.
All right, later on, guys.
Later.
Have a good night.
Next up, we are going to have Matt, if he wants to call in.
Yeah, Matt, you planning on calling
Followed by Raul, if he's still around. Let me know if you're still here in the chat, Raul. I don't think Delisha is back yet. Mac, let me know if you're here. I see him. Okay, Mac is here. And and then it would be Candace, because I don't see Tom, Zambino, or Randall.
I think they were just popping in.
Yeah.
All right, let's get.
So it's looking like Matt, Raul, Mac, Candace, and hopefully Jason with Candace.
The bear, if Mongolia.
Oh, Delisha's back. Cool.
There she is.
So I'm gonna
Such
move
beauty
some
and
people
grace.
off of this list to get a more realistic expectation.
Does anybody have this meal karaoke app? I have it.
Candace does.
And nobody sings with me. Add me.
Candace should sing with you because she's amazing.
My name is Odd Tom Harmony.
She's also very pretty. I love Candace.
She is. I agree.
So I'm out of questions.
All right, I have one for you.
Sure.
What actor should be playing a role that you like? All right, so like you imagine an actor one way in the book, like Dario is much different in the books. He has a blue beard and everything. If you could fan cast someone to replace someone else in a role, who would you pick?
I have to think about that.
If you guys have an idea, let me know. Mac, you can only recast one character. I know you like to recast everybody, but all right, Matt, how's it going? I like the hat.
Got the outfit on too.
Oh snap! He's all. Look at that! You guys match. I could see him here.
Just come over. He's local.
Yeah, right. I'm already here.
I'll ride my horse over.
Nice.
That's believable. Don't tell people that. People could just ride horses here.
Nice. All right, so let's just get this going. What house would you belong in Westeros?
I would have to belong to House Martell.
Yes.
Definitely. Dorne is beautiful. The whole lore behind Dorne is beautiful. I love the Middle Eastern play on it. Oberon is amazing. I think that the detail that could have gone into Dorne alone would have been amazing. Definitely House Martell.
Yeah, I like how you're saying it has like a Middle Eastern vibe. The water gardens always remind me of like a fictional wonder of the world. You know what I mean? How like the what was it Babylonian garden? I can't remember the gardens.
Yep, Babylon.
It it always gave me that kind of vibe that it was kind of like this like separate kind of not mystical but like cultured place and.
Yeah,
it's I didn't get to see that, but
it's very Silk Road esque. It's almost like a marriage of a lot of different cultures that are very similar but different.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's cool how he does like amalgamations of different cultures and different folklores in reality to make these stories. Like if you go in, and I would say this all the time, if you go and you look at like the characters, they fit with so many like patron gods and like how Catelyn Stark is like the Morgan, the triple goddess who's all the crone, the mother and the maiden. Like it's like he pulls so many cool things, and whether or not he means to and I'm reading into it too much, it doesn't matter because I love it and I will keep talking about it forever.
Definitely.
Look forward to that on Night's Watch, me just rambling on about nothing.
I'm gonna be there.
We got some answers in the chat here. Mac is saying he wants Uma Thurman as Cersei.
You know who I would almost Tilda Swinton would be interesting.
I would like Tilda Swinton on the show.
Not as I think Tilda Swinton needs to play more of a eccentric character.
Yeah, Red Priest would be cool for her.
Yeah.
Eric saying Christopher Lee would have been a good Tywin. Me and Morgan were literally having that conversation yesterday, so it's interesting that you say that. But I'm with you. Charles Dance was amazing. It's really hard to replace him. But Christopher Lee is definitely a good alternate choice for Tywin.
I was waiting for some answers because now I'm going to give you mine.
Mm-hmm.
Littlefinger, Vincent Price.
Everybody would die.
Of me being on the Iron Throne.
I said.
Oh no.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Just he does. He would let you know he does the motion capture as well.
And we have Raul saying, "Oh wait, he's just pitching that Cookie and Cersei should catfight."
Oh, that would be a good fight.
But would they have Cat's Claw?
The second
I don't know.
Is whose death affected you the most?
Mance Raider, 100%. Stannis' daughter, I think, was more, like, oh, it's a child. It's, it was meant to, make you feel bad. But I think Mance was a more established character. He had a pretty big backstory to him, and to see that flame snuffed out was it hurt a lot. And just the way they did it, like you wanted Jon to stop it. You wanted it to you wanted someone to step up, and it just didn't happen.
And as a Stark, he was like, this man doesn't deserve this. Like, it's almost like indignity, you know what I mean, of being like burned alive in front of his followers. Like, if you want to kill the man, just kill the man. Like, don't why drag it out.
Sure.
And obviously it didn't hurt anything because Rhaelor still shined upon him later. So
real quick, we got some more answers in the chat here. Rahul says he imagines Paul Rudd as Jon Snow. He couldn't be any more different than Jon Snow, but Paul Rudd is sexy. I would love to see him.
Paul Rudd as Littlefinger would be a lot funnier.
Yeah, I saw that. Also,
he'd be interesting Varys too.
Jason says Michael B. Jordan as Wormtail.
Okay.
I think he means Grey Worm.
Yep. Yes,
but
Wormtail's another.
Wormtail's
or Harry Potter.
Yeah, that too. And then I asked another question in the chat. Whose death delighted you the most? So send me your answers. I'm seeing Joffrey. Eric says Lysa Arryn.
Walder Frey.
Another
Walder Frey.
Walder Frey from Corey. Yeah, so keep sending those in, and I will read them in between questions.
Lemon Cloak was great. He was shit at dying.
Ollie.
Oh no, the other guy was.
Ollie is the answer.
Oh my god, fuck Ollie. Hashtag team fuck Ollie from our finale show.
Cal would know. All right, so back to the questions. Who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
I like the cherry picking idea. I want Pod.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a good squire, and he's a really good squire. And he learns, he does what he's told. I think he would definitely be Kingsguard, the head of Kingsguard. I think I'm also definitely gonna have to go with Tormund. I don't know where he would go, but he would be there. He's very loyal, and I like the way that he looks at girls.
Some more answers in the chat here. Delisha says Viserys rather, Targaryen, Dany's brother. That is my favorite death on the show, period. That was awesome. Totally satisfying death. Raul says Stannis. Poor Stannis tonight. You guys are making me feel bad.
Eric says he spoke his piece. He's fine.
Well, you still have a head, so it can't feel as bad as Stannis.
Matthew Whitaker, I think, is suggesting that he would team up with the Night's King. That's out of nowhere, and not a bad pick, honestly. I think he would be dead, but
he wrote White Walker King, and my brain is so jumbled with pop culture. I'm like, the Walter White King? That's something different.
Say my name.
Yeah, he's the one who knocks. All right, one more question for you tonight, buddy. What deceased character would you like to bring back to life?
Oberyn Martell for Oberyn versus the Mountain 2, the zombie edition.
Nice.
That would be an epic fight.
The Hound and get the Clegane Bowl.
Or Oberyn would literally be a faceless man if you zombied him.
But then again, like I'm thinking, like he comes back with like one of those cool looking kind of harpy masks. Maybe something that like this covers like the eye kind of thing, you know, something. He's from Dorne. He could pull it off. It would look amazing.
Nice. I'm into it. I'm so glad that so many people chose Oberyn for that because he is the best.
Well, I think the fight alone from that season was probably one of the most anticipated things that people wanted to see. And for the people who read the book and knew already how it was going to end and didn't say anything, and we're like, oh, I don't know who's going to win. And we all knew how it was going to go. But I think Oberyn coming back and him locked in battle with the Mountain forever would be a really cool like punishment for the Mountain, maybe, you know, like I'm gonna kill you every day. Maybe that's gonna be the revenge.
Cut off his head and then put it back on in the morning. It sounds like some Zeus shit, like some Prometheus punishment.
Very much.
All right,
that's all the questions.
That was all for. Where can people talk to you if they want to, learn more about your fashion trends?
Oh, my fashion trends. You can find me here at the Bear of Mongolia, and you can find me on Facebook at Matthew Fiore. Wanted to let you guys know we got a little Vampire the Masquerade going on, coming up in maybe a couple weeks.
Where and when and how?
Okay, near Port Jervis at a friend of mine's house. Very laid back. I don't know if you're working Saturday nights.
Yeah.
If I have noticed, maybe I'll try to take that. That sounds fun. And Port Jervis isn't far at all. That's where we took Josh and Kaylee. Yeah. I'll talk to you on Facebook about it.
Definitely hit me up.
Cool. All right, buddy. Well, we'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Team Mystic.
Matt's a nice guy.
All right.
We got Raul coming in next, followed by Delisha,
and then
Mac and Candace, and that will be all she wrote. Unless I'm missing anybody, let me know in the chat.
Well, I hope Jason joins Candace.
Yeah, I believe he already said that he will.
Well, I hope. It's my buddy.
It's my buddy.
It's more buddy.
It's my buddy.
All right.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet hat. Raul likes it.
What's not to like?
Oh, yeah, here he is.
Ba-da-ba-ba-bum.
Hey guys.
Hey, buddy, how
How's
are
it
ya?
going? Oh, hold on.
Sam.
Let me click on your photo so everybody can see you. Look at Sam on the Iron Throne.
It's gonna be canon.
Nice.
Raul, just make sure you don't have YouTube playing in another window because I'm hearing a very
Oh,
delayed.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I already closed it.
I was doing myself crazy.
All right, so Raul, which house would you belong in?
I was really thinking about this one because I like the Lannisters because they're so shady and they're so evil. But I'm not evil. I would like to be. I would like to be like someone in between them in the Lannisters. But I think that I would like to be because Morgan said earlier a Martell. I don't know a lot about the Martells because he said that because I'm Mexican and therefore Spain. Also, so I would like to say I would like to be a Lannister and they betray them at the end for me to be on the throne. And then I would say that I was a Stark the whole time, or maybe I was the twin brother of Sam.
Nice. Very cool. I like it. All right. So whose death affected you the most on the show?
Well, before, even though he got back to life, but Jon Snow really hurt me. Jon Snow's death, I was like, I didn't expect it at all. A friend of mine, but he made me watch Game of Thrones. He told me a lot of things from the books, but he didn't tell me that because I think he noticed that I like Jon Snow so much and Sam. And so when season 5 happened, I was like, what? I was like, I didn't expect that betrayal for the night was to Jon. I was like, it hurt me, but also, even though a lot of people have said it, but I didn't cry as much as I cried when Hodor died. Yeah. That was totally unexpected. It hurt me so much because I felt the pain of Hodor. Like that was his purpose, like to save. I always forget his name, Bran Stark.
Yeah.
Bran, and to save Bran, and how he's remembering, and then you see that flashback that he started to. He was a normal kid that had all the horses. He was so normal, and then everything happened because Bran time traveled through time, and he needed to do that purpose in the present. And so that's why Hodor and Jon Snow for the 2 episodes that he was dead.
Yeah, I mean, I never questioned Hodor's loyalty to Bran until I realized that Bran pretty much programmed Hodor to protect him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, the implications that come from all that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who would you ally yourself with to sit on the Iron Throne?
I'm a big fan of Cersei, but I would really like to be the ally of Littlefinger. Because even though I know that Littlefinger maybe is not gonna survive this season, but that would be so cool to see Littlefinger. Like he has climbed so many stairs to get the position that he has.
The ladder.
That ladder, and so to him to be in the Iron Throne, he's so evil and so shady. Even though I'm really honest, but also I have a lot of shadiness that I inherited from my bitch grandmother. And so I could really help Littlefinger if I was in Game of Thrones in Westeros right now. And so I would really like him to be the king. And everyone dies. And so me and Sam and Littlefinger are the last ones that survive.
Nice.
And that's it.
I would watch that. All right, one more question for you tonight, buddy. Which deceased character would you like to bring back to life?
Hmm. I would have really liked to see Rob interacting with all of the things that are happening right now. Like what then he's seen reacting to Jon Snow like to be the Targaryen, the next Targaryen to him reacting of all of the things that Ramsay Bolton did. And also, I would also really like, even though I haven't read the books, but I know this spoiler because my friend told me about Catelyn Stark. But I know they're not gonna dare to do the Lady Stoneheart storyline. But I would really like. I just thought of it like a minute ago. I was like, Rob Stark would be so interesting to see him react of how the war has advanced of all of the time that he has been dead this whole time.
There should be something in the Game of Thrones contract that if your character dies, you have to do video reactions in character so we can see it. Because I think that was the same thing with me and why I picked Khal Drogo, is I want to see these characters, see how these other characters have grown, and I want to see how they feel about it. It's not necessarily I want them to do anything. I want just to see how they feel, which was, we watched this thing on George R. R. Martin earlier about his writing, and he just is so good with empathy with characters that I want to see that through these older characters' eyes.
Yeah, because like you said, like even though they already make their role and their purpose, they could be like part of the audience. Let's say like they could react to all the things that are happening right now. And also, like you said, Khal Drogo, like you said, he would accepted that Dany killed all of those Drogos, all those cows, sorry. And then how Khaleesi grown up so much, and now she's like a queen in a little, so many different realms.
Yeah.
True.
And also to see Khal Drogo riding one of his sons in the dragons. So that would be so poetic.
Yeah, he just showed up out of nowhere and he's like, I got Drogon. Hold on. Do this. Was that all 4?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Raul. Well, I made an observation. So far, the people who like Lannisters also watch Pretty Little Liars. I don't know if that says anything.
Pretty Little Lannisters.
Pretty Little Lannisters.
Well, also, I really like the Lannisters because I grew up watching a lot of soap operas in Mexico, and the Lannisters equal so much of my favorite. One of my favorites is Cuna de Lobos, but also they equal so much the storyline of La Mentira, the lie, because they will always do, the Lannisters, a lot of stuff to get into power. That like they betray each other, they kill each other, they will do anything to be in the power, and so. That's the thing that I have from Cuna de Lobos, because Catalina Creel, she even, a spoiler, like by accident, she killed her own son. And she uses that thing as a power play at the end. And also in La Mentira, and also in Teresa, it's a recent telenovela. It's a remake from one from the 50s. Cersei resembles a lot of Teresa, because Teresa, she came from a humble place. And she always wanted power. She always wanted to be one of the richest persons. And so she betrays her own parents. He betrays her own special love that she grew up with his childhood romance. She betrays everyone. And at the end, when she gets everything, like she gets her career, she gets the money that she stole, all of those things. But Cersei is so different, because Cersei, she's a whore. Teresa, she only slept with one guy. Cersei slept with a lot of people. And so that's the big difference, but it's the same ambition.
That's calling the kettle black. I'm just referring to one of her love interests.
Yep.
Kettle black. Get it? Anyway. All right. Raul, I know you do reviews and stuff on your Twitter. Do you want to shout those out?
Oh, yeah, I do some quick reviews on Twitter. I also, like Billy said, I'm guessing a lot of different podcasts. I'm guessing Nolan's podcast, and Movies in Me, and also Horror House. And also I'm always here in Offshade Panel. And also I'm part of the Top Family. We just did the Philly episode a month ago. And we're coming back maybe in September, Jack said, between last of August and September. Yes, that bell. Oh, guys, you should have seen that episode live. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was a cool experience.
And also, if Sam dies, you're not gonna hear the end of it of me on Twitter or Shake Panel in every show.
Alrighty. Yes, Sam on the Iron Throne. Well, Raul, we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night.
Bye. You too.
Oh no, I can't eject Raul. I almost
Okay,
tried to-
I will do it.
I got you. Oh no, it's my favorite part. All right. Yeah, she tries to spite Jamie with dudes.
Not only dudes, I'm typing it now, but she like sleeps with the random beautiful woman from the Summer Islands just because she's bored and she can't.
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, it's hot
Well,
stuff.
what book is it in?
It's hot stuff.
Which one?
Midway through about somewhere.
Storm of Swords? Because I feel like A Storm of Swords is the worst title for that scene. There's no swords involved at all.
Did you give Delisha a call?
I will do that right now.
Delisha, Mac, and then Candace.
And Jason.
With Jason, of course. Candace featuring Jason.
Favorite duo.
She's the star of my heart.
That's still less than 10, Candace says. And they didn't pay her.
It's that we
I
know
think.
about, and even if she slept with 40 guys, it's none of our damn business, and who cares? Leave Cersei alone.
And the technical
She's-
definition
You
is
can't be hating just because she's successful. That's all I'm saying.
you have to pay for it in order for her to be a whore, and she's a Lannister. I don't think anyone's buying that shit.
For sure.
Hi, Alicia.
Hello, hello.
How's it going? How's work?
It was good, not too bad. Harley unit manager, so that's always a good night at work.
I hope she enjoyed her portion of the show.
She felt grateful for getting a shout out. She said, "I feel like I'm famous."
Yes. Now we all know about her.
Yep, and she might actually start watching Game of Thrones because she liked what you guys were talking about.
Nice.
See, that's all we want. There's more people to talk to about this stuff. All right, so let's get right into it. What house do you feel like you belong in?
At first, well, I didn't really know how to answer this question because I haven't read the books. I don't know like in depth about all the houses besides just watching the show. So I was like, let's go find a quick quiz real quick and just take one of those. So I did two just to see if I would get anything different. The one from BuzzFeed told me I belong to the Unsullied.
Okay.
If I could stop, Sage. Sorry, my dog. She's
Hi,
scared.
Pop.
She's scared of the fireworks and she wants to like lay right next to me. Yeah, it says you have been through a lot in your life, but have persevered against all odds. Few things can keep you down, and your resilience is admired. You are a loyal friend and hard worker, and you always ensure that you finish what you start. I was like, all right, that sort of sounds like me, kind of. I don't know. And then the other one I took put me in House Tyrell. So I'm like,
I was gonna say, I was gonna put you in Tyrell.
oh, okay. I will go with that one since it has your approval. Since it says growing strong, you're soft, gentle, and kind, but you're as dangerous. I was like, oh, okay. If not more so than the entire royal fleet, a flower you may be, but one with thorns. I was like, oh, okay, sure. I guess I am like that if you threaten my friends.
It's just, yeah, the Tyrells have very strong women in their ranks. The men are kind of buffoons, which is kind of funny. You get to see that with Marjorie's dad. He's always just trying to like be a character and singing songs.
Candace, you nailed it. Delisha is a diehard Hufflepuff, so you nailed it. She said that sounds like a Hufflepuff, that description. So.
And I don't know what house equates to Hufflepuff.
Well, she just said the description that she read for what was it, Unsullied?
Unsullied?
Yeah.
I mean, there's other qualifications for Unsullied. I guess you need.
Eric in the chat, the Queen of Thorns is my jam. I freaking love her. She was in my top 5 list.
And if you have not seen a picture of the Queen of Thorns as a young actress, she looks exactly like Marjorie. The casting is
Diana
incredible.
Rigg is her name. Google it, yeah. She's really good.
And Ravenclaw love to my buddy Corey. Also a Ravenclaw.
Slytherin. Just saying. That's
we are all represented. We are all represented.
All right. So whose death affected you the most?
At first I wanted to say Holder like everyone else because I think that was the only moment where I actually like teared up in this whole entire series. But I'm gonna go with all the direwolves because they were my favorite from episode 1 when they were just puppies, and I wanted to see them, I want to see them all together kicking ass, but I don't think we're gonna get that. And so I hope that Ghost and Nightmare stay alive because I can't take it if all the direwolves are gone because that's just a sad moment in the
Good luck with that.
I know, right? I'm so scared because they're so beautiful. They're so.
I'm just saying. We haven't seen Nymeria in a while.
I think she'll be back next season for
I'm
sure.
I'm excited.
I was watching Throne Talk, which is for Collider, and the Rachel Cushing, she's like, Nymeria should just stay in the woods. She's just stay in the woods and she'll be safe.
That's funny.
Hold on, the direwolves. Those are the two that really got to me because one, I love animals, and Holder is.
The chat's lighting up in support with you over the direwolves, and I think everyone's surprised that no one else said that tonight. So good pull.
Well, we were so taken aback that we had Ghost on the show that we didn't want to say anything.
Got it.
All right, Delisha, who would you like to ally yourself with for a chance to sit on the Iron Throne?
I would definitely want to ally myself with Danny and all her badass women because I feel like that's just gonna be the place to be. They all have respect for each other, and who doesn't want to be respected, especially being a woman in this world? So I feel like I want to be with her group. I don't have to fight or anything, just have a girls' night after after we try to kill the White Walkers. That's what's really important, not the throne. Is make sure we all don't die from
Delisha, Yara, Missandei, and Daenerys and the Queen of Thorns are just hitting the town.
That's what I was going for. She's got the best team, man. You have to pick her.
And that's what I'm saying. You picked her because of the strong women, Tyrell. That's all.
Nice. All right, one more for you tonight, Delisha. What deceased character would you like to bring back to life?
This one was also hard. Can we bring back all the direwolves? I don't. You know what? I would love to bring back Khal Drogo because he was Dany's rock, and he would definitely be by our side no matter what, and he'd be the one to like the first one on the battlefield against the South or at King's Landing, like ready to get that throne for her. And I just love seeing them together and seeing their relationship progress from one of strangers and not really wanting to be together to them having a mutual respect for each other. And who doesn't want more Jason Momoa? So let's bring back Khal Drogo. And I'm sorry, you Jorah and Dangerous for some reason. Sorry, Ken. No, it's Khal Drogo and Dany forever.
Oh gosh, the chat. And then to go full circle, they can just show us Khal Drogo full frontal, and then I can stop complaining about the lack of penis.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure he'd be down with it.
I don't know. Based on Jason
I've
Momoa's
heard it's
heritage,
pretty impressive. Yeah.
You might not have enough.
Well, Emilia Clarke said something about it being very impressive when they were filming those scenes. So let's see it. Let's see it. Bring it on.
Aquaman. Give the people what they want.
He'll make up for it in Aquaman. That's what that was in the contract.
Yeah, right.
All right, Delisha, do you have anything else you want to tag?
Sure. You can catch me on Aftermath doing the recap of all WWE pay-per-views, along with Kal the Kingslayer, and of course Eric Monroe, the Stannis champion. We will be doing. When's the next pay-per-view, Joe?
We're close to fire on Sunday.
Yeah, we will be doing another recap next Monday. After the most horrible title pay-per-view I've ever heard of, called Great Balls of Fire, unfortunately.
All of you hate it.
Cal said he liked it.
Oh, I thought he didn't like it.
He said it was the best title.
I think he was just making a joke because it had to do with, like, he'd be like, oh, Dragonfire.
I think it's funny.
Oh.
I like it.
It is funny, but you're like, really, guys? Really?
Like, there better be some pyrotechnics. That's all I'm saying.
Delisha, if you have not watched Glow, please get on that. It was so good, and I want to talk to you about it.
I have to. It's on my like Netflix queue list. I haven't been watching like TV much lately. I don't know what it is.
It's so good though. I'm telling you, Candace got me on that show, and it's freaking awesome. And I think it's right up your alley.
I'm just saying, some of those ladies would be in House Tyrell also.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. It's just I don't know what's wrong with me. And you can also catch me writing articles for J Panel all the time. I'm gonna watch Batman '89 because that looks like it's the clear winner from the poll.
Yes.
And you guys can look for that either by the end of next week or the week after that. And I need a name for this series, guys. It's gonna happen every month. For those who don't know, I am going to be taking popular movies that a lot of people have seen, which I have not because I don't know what I was doing years ago. I was a kid anyway. I was a kid most of these movies were coming out. So we're gonna go back and watch those and review them and see if it was worth my time or not. So I need a name for that series.
We'll think about it for you and see if we have any ideas.
Are these still movies you're getting from the library?
Library, Netflix, HBO, and Amazon Prime because I have that on voluntarily.
If it was just library, I would go checked out, because then like you checked out the film and you're checking it out.
Okay.
But we'll workshop it. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. We'll have a brainstorm in the think
I don't
tank.
know why, but the name like Movie Vault kept coming to me, but it sounds like I'm reviewing old movies.
Yeah, and you might like Brian might be like, Movie Vault, is that the neighbor to DVD bunker?
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
we'll workshop that.
All right, Delisha. Always wonderful talking to you. You look beautiful tonight, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. All right, I'll see you guys in the chat.
Bye.
Have a great night.
You guys do the same.
Next, we have Mac coming in, and then we're gonna finish up the night with Candace and Jason. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. This has been an awesome night, and I've enjoyed all of your answers.
And we're excited that everyone else is excited about Night's Watch coming up. But I mean, it's hard to not be when we've been waiting so long for Game of Thrones to show up. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to put his...
Candace, you should watch the first Nightmare on Elm Street. That shit is bomb. Embarrassing, she says. He's sending your invite now, Mac. Look out for that coming. We do only have about a half an hour left here, so we should be pretty decent on time as long as we don't go too ham with getting sidetracked. Hey!
Hey, Mac, how's it going?
It's going good. Just a little tired, but going good.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad you stayed up with us.
I'm glad to.
All right, let's get right into this. Which house would you belong in?
Okay, I don't get why everybody just picking Starks because everybody want to go with the good side. So, you know, deep down in my heart, I know I'm a Lannister. There's no, me sneaking around it. I'm just like, to me, I'm like Tyrion. I always pay my dues. I mean, I always pay. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can get out of it. Also, sometimes I can be a little sneaky and try to backstab somebody. So, yeah, I'm Lannister.
That's I like that you sided with Tyrion right away because Tyrion is the good Lannister. Even if you want to say Starks are the good guys, Tyrion's the good Lannister. Which, I mean, his motivations are a bit different, I believe, in the book, but he's still all in all the same.
Yeah, he's
down
still
to the
Tyrion.
core.
All right, whose death affected you the most?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't watch the whole series, but the one that just like struck toward me is Ned Stark because I grew up watching Sean Bean, and I also said in the comment below that hey, Sean Bean would be my golden eye because that's some bullcrap. But that's another.
You're breaking up. I can't really
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. I was saying, I had to go with Ned Stark because I just knew for some odd reason that I thought he was going to last longer. But when he died, I was like, whoa. And then the aftermath, and then we get to hear about Joffrey and how much of a crappy little kid he is. So to me, it's Ned.
It's a good pick. A lot of people didn't see that coming. I know I didn't when I first watched the show. I virtually didn't know anything about it when I watched the first season, and I mean, despite him being like, I think it would have been a little bit better if Sean Bean, like, and he did a great job. I'm not taking anything away from Sean Bean, but the fact that it was Sean Bean didn't really surprise me. I just didn't see it coming that soon.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think he's dead in GoldenEye. When I watched GoldenEye, I was like, he could
He died
survive.
like 3 times in GoldenEye.
Candace
Yeah, he
is
did.
funny in that she said that all you guys picking Lannisters are like a bunch of Hufflepuffs trying to be Slytherins.
Well, I am a Slytherin. That's why I'm a Slytherin. So yeah, I'm just being honest here. Sorry.
Let me see. I did ask in the chat which house has the best motto. I'm getting some responses. I saw some love for Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, the Martell words, which is absolutely my choice. Let me know what you guys think.
Delisha likes that the Tyrells is growing strong.
Yes, I saw that too. But yeah, tell me your choices, and I'll ask in between the next question. All right, so who would you ally yourself with for a chance to sit on the Iron Throne?
Oh, this is easy. I can't believe Corey even. I know Corey. I love him to death. I can't believe you chose all those people. Personally, I'm just going with Tyrion. Tyrion Lannister will get you there. He's gonna side with you. As long as you treat him well, he'll treat you well. And I know he's gonna get there. If I treat him well, he's gonna have my back, and I'm gonna have his. And I know he's small, but that gentleman, he can pack a wallop. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to keep everybody around, keep you in place. So I'm going with him.
Yeah, and if you went with Book Tyrion, he can do combat. He's like an acrobatic. He's like an D&D acrobat. Like he can do flips in the air and cut you. So that's a little interesting. It would have been a little too much for the series. I think it wouldn't have looked good at all. But
I actually would love to see Peter Dinklage do all that. I really would love to see that. I think he'd be like, hey, yeah, would totally love to do that.
It would either look like crazy wire work, which would be obvious, or the CGI would be wonky. I like the choice, but if you did pick, you wouldn't have to worry about him taking care of himself if it won't.
Right.
The third question.
That was the third question.
Oh, my bad. The fourth question.
The last question tonight is: which deceased character would you like to bring back to life?
Okay, here's where the comedy comes in, people. Okay, now, hear me out. Now the chat, hear me out. Don't crucify me. Okay. I want to bring back Joffrey. Now here's my pitch for Joffrey. I want Joffrey back for just that moment of like, oh, I think I'm gonna live. I think I'm gonna live, and then the doctor's like, bring a doctor, and the doctor comes in and he checks him, and I think the doctor would hate Joffrey, and he was like, oh no, he's totally gonna die. No, I'm gonna live. No, that's hallucinations. So, what I want to happen is, he was like, okay, the king is speaking gibberish. I don't know. He says stab him. And he might be speaking English to you, but he's not. So I just want everybody to just go in and just stab him, just to kill the king. I really want Joffrey to get a painful death. So that's my pitch. I just want to bring back Joffrey just to kill him some more.
Your intentions are justified. All right, Mac. Pick one thing to plug. We're running low on time.
I'm doing the Swords and Shields month. I just posted it this while ago. Also, I'm doing Super Mario month on his birthday. So go watch the Game Picture channel.
And again, the link to that, his most recent video, I believe, was a Guardians 2 review. That is on the link below down in the description. So thanks again, Mac, for coming through. And we'll see you soon.
All right. See ya. You eject me.
Ejected. And we our last but not least by any
Most
means,
certainly not least.
last but most, is
The
Candace.
beautiful and charismatic and
Jason.
wonderful Candace.
Oh, Candace.
Get on the hype train. My best friend's coming.
All up on the train. You ride it. Shoot train. Tywin's death definitely was one of those ones I didn't see coming either, especially the way that it happened. Glorious. Ha ha ha, classic comedy. Yeah, I just didn't see that coming. I thought it was awesome. Shay too. I didn't see the way she was going to go out.
Did you have a favorite house words?
My favorite house words? Fire and blood. How is no one saying that? Fire and blood. We did see. I thought I saw Corey saying winter is coming. I know Eric said ours is a fury. Great responses in the chat tonight, guys. Thank you for being so engaged tonight. It definitely helps our statistics out, seeing how much you guys talk in chat. And it's always great to see some familiar faces from some other shows pop into this one.
The only thing I miss is Ashley and Joe. They're not huge on Game of Thrones, so they weren't here tonight.
Yeah, this is the only. Well, they did pop into the chat.
And they are going to be doing a Let's Play after this.
Oh, okay. So be sure to look out for that link on Twitter, and we'll probably reblog it for BFF Plays. They're going to be playing. I don't remember the game, Dead End or something like that.
Cal said
it's a zombie game.
To make sure that Candace echoes because it's a tradition.
Okay. Hi, Candace.
Hi.
No echo. Nailed it.
You look beautiful. What kind of bull crap were you even saying?
Thanks.
What
Just
nonsense?
for you.
Like, now I feel underdressed. You guys all look nice. I mean, we're all just wearing t-shirts. I'm just being.
Are we all just wearing t-shirts?
Yeah, that's just
except for Kimber.
It's a really long t-shirt.
Wow.
That's all dresses are.
Oh my gosh.
Cat, don't beat up. This cat hates this dress. She tries to attack it every time she walks by. Seen you in forever.
I know.
Jason's already gone.
Yeah. He'll be right back. He went to go do something. I don't know what he's doing. Something tells me it's going to be crafty.
He's going to put on a full Night's Watch.
He just walks out dressed in a full Jon Snow costume.
There is a 50% chance that might be what's about to happen, but I'm not sure. I can't see.
That sounds very sexy, and I'm into the idea.
Oh no, he got more well dressed.
Oh jeez.
Oh, just to make me feel worse.
Jeez, off the camera.
His bow tie is falling off. You know.
I mean, is that a clip-on bow tie?
No.
Hand tied.
Hand tied.
Oh.
And then it has the little metal thing that goes around, and then it clips after somebody hand tied it at a factory. Someplace.
It's a more inconvenient version of a clip-on tie.
There you go.
All right, guys. What house do you both feel like you belong in?
For me, it was kind of a toss-up. Like, I want to say House Martell, but at the same time, the House Tyrell is also kind of in the mix for me a little bit. I feel like there's some craftiness that goes on in House Tyrell, and some kind of just like being this understanding, like, pragmatist. And I feel like a lot of times I'm like that, but at the same time, I think that I have like the sauciness of a Martell. So I don't know.
The interesting I like comparing the Tyrells to the Martells is that while the Martells may have women who can also lead and stuff, it's still, when you see that dynamic between, like, Illyria Sand, I know she's a bastard, so maybe she doesn't have that kind of footing with Dorne.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the Tyrells do not care who hears them. Like, they speak their mind, and they are...
Olenna, yeah.
Oh, well, she's, like, the prime, like, example.
She's the Tyrell prime,
She would,
yes.
like, I'm sure she was very much more like Marjorie when she was younger, but at this point, like, she's embraced the fact that when she sees Brienne, she applauds her just as, like, as a person. Like, and that's just, I love how much I wish the Amazonians in Wonder Woman were like the Tyrells.
But the Martells are so, like, I don't know, they're so passionate and, like, sensual, and I don't know. I picked House Martell personally. I could see you there. With
I feel like they want to taste all the fruit, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into that. Keep your options open.
What about you, Jason?
Okay, so I was really I was thinking about this as I was asking Candace. I was like, I really don't know who I'd be, because I mean, I think everybody wants to be in House Martell, to be able to walk through like a room and like people are strewn across the place like their pillows and blankets, like just women and ladies all over the place. Like that just sounds like a great time. But I mean, I'm being honest with myself. I think I would be House Raider, man. I think I'd be a wildling. I don't even think I'd be a house.
The Artist by Fire.
Yeah, I think I would be well north of the wall.
I disagree.
Really?
I voted for House Tully for this one right here. And I think that House Tully, people that are saying that they're wildlings, maybe it's kind of like a Hufflepuff saying they're a Ravenclaw a little bit. So this is House Tully right here. Edmure Tully. Takes like 6 tries to light that boat.
What a jerk. And the guy's like, give me the damn boat. Oh, like a man. Get away from me.
Ridiculous. I just want to hear Candace just sort all the people in the chat into their proper houses.
Yeah, what house am I supposed to be in, Candace?
I feel like you'd be a Ravenclaw, Tom. A Ravenclaw or a Gryffindor?
You meant in Game of Thrones.
Oh, true, important. What house would Tom be in?
Here he comes.
I don't know. I think you're gonna have to give me some time on that. I might have to get back to you.
She'll process. She'll get back to you on that.
I will admit that my knowledge and understanding of Game of Thrones houses not as sharp as my Harry Potter knowledge. I will say that.
Yeah.
But
well, you're spot on the Ravenclaw. So.
Janine points out that the Tully house words are family, duty, honor, and that does seem to suit Jason to me for sure.
Duty.
Exactly. Duty.
Right.
You can't shoot a bow, but
so which death affected you guys the most?
I know that I'm supposed to have like a really nice answer that's like really sweet and thoughtful and stuff, and everyone so far has. But mine involves a matter of the heart. Like I was just heartbroken when this happened, and it like killed me and it ruined me, and I like did like an old-fashioned like no when it happened. And for me, that's 1-1.
No.
1-1 forever. That wrecked
man.
my life. It wrecked me, man. Like it wrecked me. Like I saw it coming, and then he escaped death, and I was like, "That's fucking right, 1-1, because you're the man." And then I was like, "Oh, spoke too soon."
Well, he was the last of the giants too, was he not? So
this is what I'm trying to say, man.
Yeah.
Genocide.
Yeah, like a big deal when he went down. I'm so glad that someone said 1-1.
I mean, they should have given him like a log or something he could have used as a weapon.
He took a lot of dudes out, though.
He did.
Totally agree, man. He died the most valiant death. I think only Hodor is up there in death valiancy.
Well, one held a door and the other broke one open, so.
Precisely. Oh my god, that would make such a nice shirt. Can you make that shirt?
I'm writing it down.
Great.
Jason, where are you at with the death that affected you the most?
I want 20% of that shirt.
Hold on a second. One held the door. All right, that's all I need. Okay, so there were 2, really. I'm sorry. They're both a Baratheon, though. Shireen Baratheon, like when that happened, man, like I'm sorry, man. There's no coming back. It's like Stannis forever is just some piece of just garbage and shit. So Shireen Baratheon. But I'm sorry. Apologize for all the Stannis and Fed enthusiasts. Maybe who is it? Janine said that the Tully. That is me. Maybe she's
Alicia.
Right. Alicia. Sorry.
Alicia.
Alicia. Thank you. Sorry. The other one, Renly. Renly really. I don't know, man. I thought he was a good dude. Like it didn't hurt me nearly as much as Shireen or 1-1 for that matter. But I was kind of sad when Renly died. I thought he was definitely the Baratheon to kind of turn that name around. I don't know. I just like him.
Yeah. I'm just salty about Barristan now too. That since we were talking about it, what the damn hell.
He's a runner-up for me, man. I didn't see that happening, okay? And when it did go, like when the scene happened, I was like, all right, so are you like legit gonna make me choose between Grey Worm and Sir Barristan? Because I don't think that that's fair, and it kind of like hurts my feelings and offends me that you would cause me to have to choose between these two great warriors. But I figured that Grey Worm was going to stick around because he's got Miss Ende, and they have to disappoint us with him dying at a later date so that like we can feel really bad for her, or vice versa, you know, because they have to come in great strides. Whatever, I get it, you know, I get it. But like the walkout scene of Sir Barristan, where like Cersei's like, "Oh, we don't need your service anymore," and like Joffrey's like, "Yeah, get out," and he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm glad to be out." Ugh, disgusting. I was like, "Thank you." Why hasn't anyone else said this? Everyone else is just like, Lannisters are alright, I guess. They murdered my whole family, but it'll be okay. Sir Barristan's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck
I am
you.
I'm
out.
I a knight.
Yeah, him taking off his armor and
he just like throw it on the ground.
And they're like a naked knight, and he's like, "Fuck you! I'm still out of here. I don't need you right now. It's an inappropriate time for those jokes."
Spicy. He's a spicy.
And, on Renly, because I was saying earlier how much like I liked Renly, that I answered number 4. I was like, I would probably bring Renly back. Janine brings up a point of Brienne telling the story about, you know, her dancing with Renly, and maybe it's kind of the political climate we're in, but I just want a leader in a show that is like good natured, like, and I know Game of Thrones is not the show for that, is not going to have a happy ending.
Yeah,
but that's kind of what like. Renly, no, he did not have a rightful claim to the throne, blah, blah, blah. But I still would have supported him because I want somebody who's not a jackass. Like,
yeah. Oh, Cal points out in the chat when Barristan was like, melt this down and add it to the rest of them or whatever with his sword. Man, that's such a good scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Really good scene.
All right. So who would you guys choose to ally yourselves with for a chance at the Iron Throne?
Olenna Tyrell, man. Olenna Tyrell. At first I was like, Tyrion Lannister, because like, you know, he can negotiate and stuff, and he's a nice guy, and you know, like I'm sure he's got an awesome destiny and all that. And I was like, yeah, sure, Tyrion. But like Tyrion by himself, I agree with Corey. He really needs like more of a team. You know, like he needs to be like one of 2 to 3 gentlemen or ladies to help. But I feel like Olenna Tyrell, man, like that lady is like a force to be reckoned with. Like she's coming for everybody. Yeah. Like she's like next level, like hide your kids, hide your wife shit, man. Like that lady is coming for everyone. And I'm super excited about it. Like she's super realistic about her station in life. She's not afraid of anybody. Like she stares down Tywin Lannister in his eyeballs, like stares him down. And the dude's like, whoa, this lady. A little sexy, but I like him a little younger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm a big fan of her. I think that she's like just excellent, and I can't wait to see what she's plotting. Like, I cannot wait to see her like ridiculous revenge.
Seriously.
I had her in my top 5 when I went on Morgan's show and talked about my top 5 favorite characters on Game of Thrones. And like in a show that is full of people with like sassy and witty retorts and like snapbacks, she is the queen of all of them, dude. Like that one line she freaking says, like, listen, you're not the queen, Marjorie's the queen. And I know these things can get confusing in your family. Like when she says that to Cersei, I'm like, whole freaking hot damn, she just said that to Cersei. Like, she's so awesome. Like I want to be her when I grow up. She's amazing.
Yes, role model.
I want there to be some kind of like dimensional time portal where she goes over to Downton Abbey and like has it out with the Lady Dowager.
Yes.
Sorry, I made over. That would
Grandma
just be
snark
hot.
off into
Yeah,
it.
Seriously.
Into it.
Yeah, that should be hot.
Yeah, Cal likes how she talked to the sand snakes.
I'm excited to see Dany hopefully learn from her. Because she has so much, she doesn't have anyone else. I hope she takes her as like a daughter figure because she's lost everyone else.
Yeah.
And this is also like she's already heard like realities from like Selmy and Tyrion. She can hear the shit about her dad from someone who grew up with him, like not just heard about the stories. Like, no, I knew your father as a boy. He liked fire then.
Yeah.
Like
Felicia says she's like the Professor McGonagall of Game of Thrones.
So in Downton Abbey, right, the lady that we're saying that she should like do an interdimensional, inter-fandom time shift and like go up against is played by Maggie Smith.
Who's
Oh God.
Yeah.
like
It's all
like
coming
wit
together.
for wit, man.
Yeah. She's like way more hardcore than she is as Professor McGonagall. Like if you guys are ever looking for like a really good period piece to watch, 110%. Just go. You go for the Maggie Smith and you stay for the Maggie Smith. Like it's really great.
Yes.
Nice. What about you, Jason? Where are you at?
I believe
This one.
I may have answered this question slightly wrong. So I kind of thought of like who would I align myself with, not so much one, but just like who would be like my like team of Ninja Turtles to help me take over the throne. And I have so sorry. But like if I had like my team to take over the throne, it'd be Brienne, Tyrion, Tormund, Grey Worm, Tail, and Dumbledore and Tonks.
I mean,
I would take the Iron Throne.
One of those is actually correct because
we know Tonks died already.
Yes, Osha, right? Well, I'm sorry, she's my number 4. Stop. Sorry. Yes, never mind. Forget it.
He comes back to life. Then he's in.
Bam.
Franken Tonks.
And
Frank-
changes
oh
her
my
hair.
God.
Yeah.
Which is so far fetched.
Tonks, yeah. Nice. All right, one last question for you beautiful people. Which deceased character would you bring back to life and see their story continue?
I've got a like a real answer and I've got like a pervert answer.
Go ahead.
My real answer is Marjorie Tyrell. I feel like a lot was set up with her character, and one of my biggest complaints of last season was like the way that she ate it. I feel like the showrunners gave us a lot to work with, and like they showed us like what House Tyrell could do, and they like set up that whole plot for Loris to be forgiven and to move past like his sins or whatever. Like you had that whole scene where like she draws the rose on like the piece of paper and gives it to Oleana. Like there's all this lead up, and that was one of my favorite storylines. Like I was really excited to see where that was gonna go and to like watch her just crush anyone at all. But then obviously wildfire, and here we are. So that was kind of a stinker for me. I wasn't a big fan of that so much. Could have used more of her. And then my pervy answer is Roz, because she's super hot.
Oh, she's my favorite. We have the same favorite.
Roz all day. Oh my God.
The curves, I can't.
Honestly, even if it were Roz the White Walker, still would. Yeah. Still would.
I met her at a con, at SuperCon.
How did you manage yourself?
She was just walking around. Me and Dee just like started lurking like closer to her. Like videotaping us like lurking slowly near. She was like in a cute white sundress. She looked amazing.
Into it.
Oh, too much, dude.
Oh, yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Hot like fire.
Roz was penetrated to death, so.
How dare you? How dare you?
His cross bolts.
Eric backs us up. Roz was smoking hot. She is my all-time most beautiful woman of the show.
But all you people shouting out that you would align yourself a little finger, he just gave Roz to Joffrey as a plaything.
This is what I'm saying.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So,
well, that's kind of Tyrion's fault a bit as well. But
yeah, I mean,
he did talk his way into that. He did.
Look, guys, it was a different time.
It was a different time.
What about you, Jason?
I was torn. Like I know everybody loved Oberyn. I loved Oberyn. Hodor would really be sweet to bring back. I'm sorry, I think I have a solid answer for this one. Even Lady the Direwolf would be really hot to bring back, man. And Osha. Sorry. My 3 and 4 were kind of team. If I had a team of people I could bring back to go take over the throne, there it is.
There's Tom.
Crookshanks.
There you go. And Crookshanks. Yeah, thanks. Well, he's going to come back.
I still love the meme where it's Catelyn Stark threatening Walder Frey, but he's threatening
Mrs. Norris.
I like how Harry Potter and Game of Thrones just blends into one. Like the last book is Harry Potter and the Game of Thrones, and that's
well, and it's interesting too because they have so many actors of that kind of caliber and like notoriety that like for those who saw Wonder Woman, when we saw a familiar face, we were kind of like, what's up with this dude? He's a familiar face. He's going to come up later. And it kind of stuck out. In Game of Thrones, you know, you don't like focus in on that because like you have a Sean Bean, you have a Charles Dance, you have like.
Yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces.
I will say though, I really like watching shows that launch careers. And like Gendry, for example, like I really like Gendry. Like I wish that we would learn more about him. Like I feel like he's probably gone forever, and just as no, it's not a loose end.
He'll be back
in the show
this season.
Okay, because I really like him as an actor. He was on the UK Skins. I really like him as an actor. I think he's great. And I feel like this kind of catapulted him into like the mainstream. Like Skins was mostly like a UK audience.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hannah Murray. Like I really like her. And I also
you and Rayon too.
Yeah.
Like, the actor who played Ramsey, I know him off Misfits, and I was like so excited.
Now he's Marvel.
Yeah,
yes,
he's doing stuff now, so good for him.
That really excites me.
Macy Williams got thrown into Doctor Who, and like it takes people like their whole careers to get on Doctor
Peter
Who.
Capaldi.
Yeah,
like
he got on there
tried
twice.
forever to get on Doctor Who, and she's like had a whole storyline. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It's amazing what Game of Thrones has done. And even Sansa as well. Like she did that shitty X-Men movie.
She did that shitty.
It is a shitty X-Men.
She's doing another shitty X-Men movie, so more of that, I guess.
It's hers.
I like that they think I'm so stupid that they expect me to believe that she's gonna grow up to look like Famke Janssen.
Got the same exact bone structure.
That makes me really happy that they think that I'm like that much of an idiot as a viewer.
Shout out to Theon Greyjoy and John Wick.
Oh my gosh. We went to go see that at the drive-in, and like we're watching the movie or whatever, and I hear you hear his voice before you see him, you know? And so I hear his voice, and like even though Theon is like he's
oh
my gosh, this cat. I'm sorry. Apologize. Cats of OSP. Can you sit down, please? Can you pick one? Can you sit?
And we were worried about Ashley and Jonah.
This is her tail?
She has a little bunny tail. It's so cute.
Okay. Well, hopefully she won't push any buttons and turn this off. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Not important.
Theon Greyjoy.
Oh, Theon Greyjoy. So I heard his voice and I was like, that son of a bitch.
Yep,
well, I have a theory that Theon Greyjoy died, and then like a millennia later, he was reincarnated into this guy, and then he just had some bad blood with dogs for some reason. We know because of Ramsey, but now whenever he sees a dog, he just has to kick it.
Oh, I didn't get a dire wolf.
So he went from No Wick to John Wick.
Good one, guys. Good one. Good one.
I think we're just gonna hang up. That was pretty much as good as
that was a good walk away for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that was the last.
That's all the
huh?
questions tonight. Yeah. Did you guys have anything you're working on? Are you and Tom still doing a thing, Jason?
Yeah, Jason. I messaged you earlier.
I know I messaged you back, but you were doing it.
Oh no, we're like ships passing in the night.
We are.
Candace, I'm tempted to hit you up so that we could do like a one-off episode on how good Moana is. I'm tempted. Let me know.
I'm totally down. I'm totally down.
So look,
we can have a
we'll
sing-along.
figure that out. Yes, you will sound much better than me, but Tom is good. We'll get Tom.
You're welcome.
He's a pretty good at Shiny. You'll have to hear it sometime.
He invited me to join him on Smool, and I saw it come in, and I'm going to shoot to try to do that tomorrow.
Yes, I'm into it.
I will. There are so many songs. I've been auditioning for a Disney group on Smeal all week because I'm a nerd. So yeah, I'm always on there.
Oh, Delisha says she wants to join us for the Moana. I have zero problems with that, so maybe we'll try to see if our schedules can work out for that.
That sounds awesome. I'm into it.
Moana's so good. It's the best Disney movie.
And I'll call you tomorrow, Tom, to talk more about.
Cool.
Sweet.
Tomorrow I'm available all day. Yeah, you can hit me up.
Yeah. What's everybody else's schedule like this week? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, guys, post in the chat put where your schedule is and a list of your fears in the chat, and nothing bad will happen.
Name, address, blood type.
the list that's important in Mad Max that they write down for everybody? The body bags or the blood
I
bags?
don't remember.
It's like negative,
Yeah.
like all that. Joe would know.
All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out so late. I'm really glad that we got to see you, and hopefully we will have you joining us for Night's Watch this season for the recap.
Absolutely. We're definitely down.
I'm sure everyone will love to see you guys there.
Absolutely. All right.
Good night.
All right, guys. Well, have a great night.
We love you.
Love you too.
Never.
They always beat him to it.
Too slow in the draw.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Social security number. You stop that, Matthew Whitaker. I hope that's not real. That's someone's number, probably.
Yeah, right. Some guy. What? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on a very Westerosi. I can't think of an adjective for this. A very gamey Thrones episode of Thronesy game. I don't know. You say something. I don't got anything. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We've been juggling a bunch, over 10 callers all the whole stream, which is kind of not a usual thing for us.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for everyone joining us tonight. We'll be doing Night's Watch next Tuesday, starting next Tuesday, which will be the season 6 recap, following by the week after that. Episode 1 of season 7. I can't believe it's already here.
Yes.
This is the only show this week. We might try to put up some other content during the week if we can get the Game of Thrones game to work. The game of Game of Thrones. And next week we're going to be back to 3 live shows a week because Twin Peaks is back on. So we'll have Monday, every other Monday will still be either OSP or OSP and Chill, the Q&A. Tuesdays are going to be Night's Watch, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Twin Peaks will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays.
And then we are looking to do some side content, like I was just talking about with Candace and he was talking about with Jason. I've also been working with a lot of the ladies in the group. We're thinking about doing something, Candace, Janine, Delisha, Ashley included, as well as Molly, as well as some other women in the community for both Screen Junkies and YouTube. So look out for that too. When I have more details, I will gladly give it to you. But I just wanted to let you know that we are working on some more stuff. So keep your eyes and ears out for more on that.
Yeah. That's it from us, pretty much. You can tweet at Odd Shape Panel if you want to talk to the channel directly, or me. I'm always on that one. And you can find Kimber at
Kimberbatch_OSP on Twitter.
Oddshapechannel.com has all of our content, all of our friends, a list of the frequent callers, anyone who has a role in our channel. We love working with all of you, and we would literally be nothing without you. So thank you so much. And that's a wrap. Twitter handles are in the description if you didn't hear me say it the first time, and as well as a link to the guest creator thing that I brought up for the 20th time for this podcast. That's it. I have nothing else to say. Valar Morghulis.
Valar Dohaeris.
So
The end.